If you're a fan of the Sly Guy podcast and just one solo podcast is not enough for your eyes or your ears in a week, you want to get bonus content, you want guest podcasts, you want the extra Sly Guy podcast, fuck it, you even want Dog Walks with Davey, head on over to patreon.com/Sly Guy podcast, where this week's podcast we have a guest on the actual podcast and you're going to see behind the curtain as to what the guest podcasts are truly like. So if you like that and you think if you've got a whistle and you touch your whistle and that whistle's dry and you're like, that's a dry whistle, but then you watch this episode and afterwards you touch your whistle again, you go, oh man, that's a wet whistle, and you want a little bit more, you know where to find it. www.patreon.com/Sly Guy podcast. You won't regret it, and if you do, you can always leave. Guys, I'm going to Ulster Hall once again for my new show, Bits and Pieces. It'll be on a Saturday this year, which means it's the best day of the week for stand-up, because I'm not selfish and I'm doing it for you guys, so you can have a full experience. You can go for your dinner, come to the show, go out after, have a great time on Saturday the 10th of September at the Ulster Hall. New show, Bits and Pieces. Tickets are on sale now. You can get what are you waiting for? Stop going, I'd like to just, this would be a good idea. Don't say to your mates, would you like to go to Dave? Take massive action. Go to the link in this bio, buy your tickets right now. You won't regret it. Speaking of things you won't regret, if you're listening to this podcast on Thursday the 19th of May or Friday the 20th of May, there may or may not be some tickets left for my stand-up night in the Strand Arts Centre this Friday the 20th of May. It's myself, William Thompson, Diona Docherty, Paddy McDonnell, all doing stand-up in the Strand Arts Centre. It's BYO, which means bring your own. You bring your own booze, you can bring your own, bring your own drugs if you want. The Strand won't be happy about me saying that, but hey, who cares? If it's a full house, bring your own gear, bring poppers, bring lube, bring Vaseline, and bring a positive mental attitude, and let's have a good time. Again, ticket link, boop, boop, in description. The Sly Guy podcast is brought to you in association with Phat guys like myself, and also Phat Bastrd Burger. I've said this before, I said Phat Bastrd Burger make delicious, tasty, thick, meaty burgers that are, and I told you they were 10 out of 10, would recommend, and then guess what went and happened? That's right, they went and won the best burger at the NI Takeaway Awards 2022. So not only does that prove me to be a truth speaker, as you all know, but also it proves Phat Bastrd Burger to be the elite takeaway burger in the country. If you want to know a little bit more about them, check them out on social media. Follow them on Facebook at Bastrd Burger, and that's not BASTARD, it's BASTRD, because they're cool and hip and they've dropped the second A in Bastrd. Same applies to TikTok or Instagram. Follow them at Phat Bastrd Burger, and that's PHATBASTRDBURGER. You won't regret it. Tell them Davey sent you, and sometimes they do discount codes like NI Best Takeaway or NI Best Burger 22, and you get 20% off your first order. What a deal that is. Couldn't recommend it more myself if I wasn't already recommending it myself. So go check them out. Phat Bastrd Burger. You will not regret the decision. A lot of people describe me as a real down-to-earth, modest guy, and that's because my podcast is sponsored by Modest Beer. Modest Beer are a small independent brewery originating right here in Hollywood, County Down. But things, much like myself with Modest, have just got, they've expanded, they've got bigger. And Modest have moved out of Hollywood, but they're still producing amazing beers. Pilsners, IPAs, lagers, whatever you want, they've got it for you. They hook you up, they'll feed you full of drink and you'll feel great about it, but they'll not boast about it because they're Modest. Where do you want to find out more about Modest Beer? I'll tell you, at their socials, on Instagram, Facebook, the works, at Modest Beer. It's a simple handle for a simple company. And if you want to know a little bit more about Modest Beer, what beers they stock, you want to hook yourself up with some merch, head to their website, www.modestbeer.co.uk. Guys, before the show starts, I want to just take one moment to remind you that the BLAP that I wrote with William Thompson, William of Orangedale, is still available to view. It's on all four, it's on YouTube now, it's been getting great responses, great views, I'm delighted with it. If you, for whatever reason, live under a rock and listen to this podcast and haven't seen it, follow the link in the description and check out William of Orangedale. All the views, all the comments, all the support we've received so far has been amazing, and for a guy that is not really that humble, it's really humbled me and I do appreciate it. So if you haven't already, check it out. If you haven't commented on it, go ahead, we really appreciate it, and let's hope that there's more to come. Guys, sit back, put your feet up, grab a cup of coffee, maybe a bit of cake, tray bake, I don't know, and enjoy this week's episode of the Sly Guy podcast. Adieu.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Guys, I haven't announced it in the introduction here. Well, maybe I did. I can't remember what the fuck I said. But I've got a guest on the podcast this week. It's Aaron Butler, the butt man himself. But we've just had a bit of a moment because he put some chewing gum in his mouth. I said, don't be slapping on the podcast. I meant just chew. You know when you get a new piece of chewing gum, it's a wee bit slappy to start, then it gets soft, it's okay. He just swallowed it, so...
Immediately, I chewed it about 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It was still, I could still feel the hardness of the exterior of the gum.
Yeah.
And you made me so
no,
worried.
I didn't. You chose to swallow it. We could have taken a minute. There's no rush.
No, there was...
We could have taken a minute.
I felt... No, but I appreciate your time more that I would do that. I wouldn't let you sit here and watch me chew chewing gum. Shane would do that.
Yes.
Shane would do
Yeah,
that.
but also at the same time, I don't want you to get that stuck in your colon.
Yeah.
And potentially, die. Like you could get gastroenteritis.
Yep, that's the
from
thing.
that, or you could get Crohn's.
Yep.
From doing that, or
you
could get that thing Brock Lesnar had.
Oh, diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis.
That
Yeah.
he chewed too much chewing gum.
Yeah, he swallowed too much
he
chewing
swallowed
gum.
too much
Yeah,
chewing gum.
and that's why I always say, don't swallow.
Don't swallow your chewing gum. Do you swallow chewing gum?
No, of course I don't.
Do you spit it out and kick it?
Sometimes if I'm not on my own street, like if I'm
That's
in,
good fun, isn't it?
like if I'm in sort of like trampier places, like if I'm in Lisburn,
Yes.
I'll spit my chewing gum out and I'll volley it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
But if I'm in North Down, no, I wait. I put it in a bin. Sometimes I put it in a tissue, fold it up, put it in the bin. That's kind of it.
Do you ever notice when you volley it, it just disappears into like the sky?
Yeah.
It doesn't like, I'm getting really deep here, but it doesn't, you never see it like hit the ground.
No, but then you don't want to get
Gone forever.
Yeah, but you do hit it hard. It's probably like in your next door neighbour's back garden or something. To be fair, like it's probably there, but I never see where it ends. It's like I've had a recent. I suppose this is not where this podcast was going to start, but we've had a recent
Stage 2.
Well, I wish no, don't actually don't know why I've said that.
I wish. Yeah, I wish I was really sick.
Yeah, but I've had a lot of thoughts recently about about seagulls. Have you ever thought about seagulls much?
No, I don't give it much
Here's
thought.
the thing. How many seagulls do you see on a regular basis?
Not many.
See, but you're in West Belfast, not by the sea.
That's true.
I'm
see them more.
the ocean.
And you're
king.
walking that dog.
I know, I walk a dog. I'm by the ocean. People often say that I'm so much of a king of the ocean. They call me Poseidon. Not Poseidon, Poseidon. But that's just a funny little nickname they give me.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of seagulls. I'd say, hundreds of the fuckers.
Yes.
But do you often see a corpse of a seagull?
No.
So where do seagulls go to die? What do they do?
I think they just fall into the water and then the fish eat them.
Yeah, but then you never see
No, do you know what
that.
happens? Do you know why you don't see them die? Is because if you ever like go to Art Glass or something when where they have all the fucking otters and stuff, the seagulls will like try like get fish out of the water and the otters just wait and then they just pounce them.
All
Like,
the
it's
seagulls
like,
go to our glass.
they go to Art Glass and the otters just eat them.
Yeah.
Is it otters or otters?
Otters, yeah. Otters. I
I
mean,
feel like I'm saying that weird.
yeah, you're saying otters, I think.
No,
But
otters.
Otters. I don't know. It's
Auditors?
There's T, otters.
They
Yeah,
get
otters.
ate by otter. Yeah, but yeah,
Those guys, yeah.
Basically, the big sea lions. I'll just call them that because that's easier.
Yeah,
They
but they're
just
not
swallow them.
otters. Sea lions aren't otters. They're different. Otters are wee guys. Sea lions are big guys. Like you'd be an otter. Like in the gay world, I actually do think you're an otter. I think that's a gay term.
There's
Otter.
There's so many gay terms. It's hard to keep up with them.
People always go, Dave, is your laptop only there for show? And it's like, no, I actually use it sometimes.
Yeah.
So let's go on Google. And I mean, I want to type in gay otter. Lord knows what I'll get here.
Do.
Gay otter.
Says
Gay otter. What is a gay otter? Here we are. Within the LGBT community, an otter is a term to describe a type of gay man. Otters generally have a lot of body hair, much like bears, but are smaller in frame
I'm
and
not.
weight. No, so you're not. You're a twink. So then an otter's probably like a James McKegney's an otter, I would say. 'Cause he's a
Yes.
smaller, hairy guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a bear, he's an otter, and you're a twink.
But
I mean, do you
surely-
want to know what a twink is in gay term?
Yep. Let's go through all these.
Twink. I mean, I've never looked at anything inappropriate on this laptop before, but now, hey.
I don't
A
believe
gay term for lean guys with a bit of scruff. I mean, that describes you perfectly. You're a lean guy with a bit of scruff.
I can't
You're a
deny it.
twink,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. There you go.
So there you have it, guys. You answer the questions, the big pressing questions in the Sly Guy podcast.
The twink and the bear.
The twink and the
podcast.
bear. There you go. I mean, I think that would do quite well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
imagine a
there's an
certain
audience.
area
Yeah.
of audience would really relish in
but
that one.
we're diverting away from the important topic here
Sure.
of seagulls.
Sure.
So then somebody wrote into the podcast to say apparently seagulls are intelligence gatherers for the Chinese. So apparently Chinese
Is Mickey
people,
sending stuff into the podcast
no,
again?
it's Paddy McDonald. So they're sending
Yeah,
they're
it's a Paddy
sending
fact.
the seagulls over, and they are like, or not Chinese, sorry, aliens. That's disrespectful to China.
So
the
the
aliens,
aliens, the Chinese
or the
aliens.
Chinese, or the Chinese, I don't know.
Aliens.
They send seagulls and maybe otters, who knows, to like gather intel and send them back. That's what made me think of Paddy McDonald, because he said that whenever you have Chinese tourists taking loads of photos of things like, you know, manholes and like weird things, you'd be like, why are they taking photos of that? That's intelligence to go back to China to be like, here, this is what these lads are doing, you know.
Manholes.
Which is another term similar to Twink and an otter. The manhole is actually the nightclub I'm going to open. And please come to the manhole. You're more than welcome.
That'd be a great name for a nightclub, to be fair.
Yeah, well, let's do it.
Can we get more fellas in the manhole?
You need to bring your hard hat for a night, the manhole. But then not long after I was speaking about the seagulls, I saw 2 seagulls' corpses within the space of half an hour. And they were on the road being eaten by other birds. So I don't know if that's the aliens or the Chinese sending me a message to be like, don't you fucking put that out there here. But, you know.
I'd imagine that's why you don't see many of them. They just get, birds just eat any of that stuff, don't they?
Yeah, birds are
they don't eat hedgehogs. If you see a dead hedgehog, that always stays there.
Tell you what though, have you ever seen a dead hedgehog that's been smashed up by a car?
Yeah.
A lot of insides for a small thing. Like, it's compact.
Yeah, can I tell you,
know?
this is
it's like a smart car. There's a lot in it.
This is why, right? When I was 18, it's so fucking stupid. I was 18, and you're a fucking idiot at 18.
Yeah.
I'm still an idiot now, but even back then, I was more of an idiot. And me and my mates, I was driving one of my mates home, big Brian Rush, and we drove him home. Me and two other friends left Brian off first.
Sounds like a start of a DOE advert. This
Left Brian off first. And it's like 1 a.m. As we're driving out of Brian's estate, there's a dead hedgehog.
Yeah.
And we look out and go, oh fuck, look at that. Will we go out and look at it?
Yeah.
We go out and look at it and we go, here, do you want to be a great prank? Let's just put this at Brian's front door. So we lifted the dead hedgehog.
Oh wow.
Brought it.
There's
and then,
germs in that baby.
And then, well, we put it in a bag. We didn't lift it bare. We didn't go raw dog. I put like a dom on each hand.
Condom on each hand.
Yeah,
But they're prickly.
Yeah.
You know,
condoms, you can't prick those. You know what I mean? They're airtight. They test those in a factory and all using the hedgehog
in China with seagulls.
So then we just left the dead hedgehog outside his front door.
And how's that received?
I mean, not well.
No.
Well, the thing is, at least he found it. His parents
Yeah.
didn't find it,
Yeah.
which is good. He knew because he opened the door and it was just sitting there and there's a bunch of flies and all around it.
Yeah, well, there would be. It's a corpse hedgehog, like. But then, back in those days, like, you know, whereabouts are you allowed to say where he lives generally without giving a specific street?
like
what town?
West Belfast, like where I live.
Right, so in West Belfast, you know, I'm sure there's been some like gang things going on in the past, and like, you know, you see in mafia films and stuff, they leave like the horse's head at someone's bed at night. So like in West Belfast, they're like, I don't know, who ogling the heron or something, just dropping eviscerated hedgehogs on people's doorsteps.
Yeah, but it's funny.
Or in fact, the IBA, that would be the sort of thing they would drop at someone's front door, just a gutless hedgehog.
But it's funny how when you're that age, you think that's the funniest thing in the world, and then you get older and go,
yeah,
why'd we do that?
Yeah, like that's definitely something that happens.
Stupid.
Yeah.
But now, to be fair, this hedgehog, it didn't have his guts or anything hanging out. It was just like, it almost, it died of old age.
Until you got it, and then you just got a scalpel. Should we gut it? Yeah, we'll just gut the fucker as well.
No. This one died of natural causes. Old age. It didn't get run over or anything like that.
That's okay. So, I mean, that is rare too. You don't just often see
a hedgehog die of natural causes. This one lived a long hedgehog life.
That's good. Like, was it perhaps, you know, in...
I found it like this.
Yeah, that's good. You'd been to the hedgehog undertakers.
It just knew it was its time to go.
Yeah, that's nice. And I mean, why were there flies around it though? That's gross.
That was it. Well, just because it'd been sitting all night. So then when he opened it, the flies apparently just all went.
What's the most like disturbing corpse you've seen?
God, that's a good question. I don't think I've seen too many bad ones. I remember I ran over a rabbit by accident before, and that was pretty gruesome. See,
I've never killed anything before other than flies. You know, and mice.
I've killed flies, spiders. I killed that rabbit by accident.
Oh no, this is like the start of the Rob Zombie remake of Halloween. We're like, was Michael back? Well, he just killed cats and stuff.
This is how Jeffrey Dahmer was created. Yeah. And then I think that's the only things I've killed. And by the way, all accidentally.
Yeah.
No, not the flies.
And what was the worst kind of, like, was the rabbit the saddest when you saw it?
The rabbit was the saddest because I heard it, I seen it in my rearview mirror, and then when I got out and looked at it, it was doing that thing, where it twitches.
Yeah, why didn't you
And
just
I
keep
wish
driving?
I had a gun or something
Yeah.
to be like, I'm sorry, buddy, and then put him out of his misery. But I didn't, so
Which
he
is
just had to,
weird
like-
from as a guy from West Belfast not to have a gun just on you at all
Yeah,
times.
yeah. No, we've decommissioned.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I actually saw a human.
Well, I've seen a human corpse,
Yeah,
but it wasn't
but-
in
yeah.
any bad way.
But this human corpse I saw was hanged and burnt.
Ah,
So
no.
it was pretty
So what
grim.
was it?
Speaking of hanging burnt, there's my phone ring in the middle of the podcast here.
Hey.
And it's my mum, so I'm not going to answer that.
Nah. Weird.
Yeah, what happened, I was in South Africa on a rugby tour and was on the way to play a match, and there's a bit of kerfuffle going on in the field, and we looked and saw like the tape and stuff, and there had been a man who'd been, have you ever heard of the term necklaced? It's a thing that they're pretty fond of doing in South Africa. They like put a tire, like just a wheel tire around, covered in petrol around your neck, and light it, and it just kills you, like burns up, and it's pretty grim.
How did they figure that out?
I don't know. Like this is the thing. Like people are innovative when they want to torture people. Like
You
the
can say
ways they
that.
go to torture people are insane. So we found out they had necklaced this guy because apparently the bus driver was like, "This is very common here. This is what happens here all the time. People just get necklaced because the police will not go into the townships. So what happens is the taxi drivers in the townships are the police." So, and I said, "Oh, so what happens then if you have a problem?" I'm just a wee 16-year-old. So what happens then if you've got a problem in the township? What happens? You go to the taxi rank and you say, "The taxi rank, I've got a problem with this guy." And then I was like, "Oh, so what to do? Do they tell them off like?" And they burn them to death. Nice. So what they put the tire around the neck, set it on fire, and they die. And I was like, "Okay, why is he in a tree?" And he goes, "He must have been a pretty bad guy." I was like, "All right." So and I was like, "So what did they do?" So they burnt him alive. They cut off his arms and his legs, and they tied him to a tree. And I was like, "Why to do that?" And they're like, "To show other people not to be sly." And I went, "All right, that's kind of it." So that's how they do it in the townships in South Africa. And then obviously our teachers were like, "Don't look out the windows," to a full bus full of 16-year-old guys. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And I
You're
mean,
gonna look
it
out the
was
window.
to this day, it's an image that's still kind of, it's in the bones, like, you
I
know.
remember probably one of those weird videos was the Saddam Hussein killing video. Do you remember that? They have
Yeah.
a wee mobile footage of him
Yeah.
getting high, and his neck was all just like.
Yeah,
That was maybe one of the worst ones I've seen.
yeah. See, you're one
I
of
try
the-
to avoid that.
You're one of these guys I like to talk to. Like, I hate speaking to people who are like, "Oh, I saw this video where a guy get his head sawed off." Why are you watching that?
Yeah.
You know, why are you watching that?
Yeah, I can't put myself through it. Like, it's just, I
No.
know some people have this sort of thing where they can't look away, but I can
Yeah.
look away.
But
But
I
when
mean-
people remember people as well were like, you need to watch out, Two Girls, One Cup and on.
Yeah,
Like, no, I don't.
No.
My life will not be any better improved by having seen that.
I always see, my problem is I don't look at the instant. I don't look at the action. I look at the reaction, and I think of
Yes.
the consequences that follows. Like, have you ever heard of the video? I remember I got like fucking tricked into watching this video once. It was called One Guy, One Jar or something, or One Guy, One.
I had heard of it, and
Yeah.
I never watched it
So
because
what happened?
I heard about it.
Yeah, but one of my mates like, "Oh, this is so funny." Oh, no, only saving
What,
grace.
what part of China was he from?
Well, yeah.
Oh, this is so funny.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's actually Beavis.
Yeah.
But he goes to me, like back in my days, saving grace was there wasn't like this 4K HD that there is nowadays.
Yeah, it was
So it
blurry.
was kind of blurry. But it was this guy, effectively, he put some sort of like chemistry boiling jar up his ass.
Yes, and then smashes it.
No, it just breaks because obviously the sphincter is like a muscle. Like as somebody, I'm sure current company can testify to this. If you put your finger up your anus and you pull it wide, it recovers quite well. Like it's like a big strong muscle.
Yes.
You know, it's hard to.
It's elasticated.
So it just shut and just like so that person's probably going to need like a stoma bag for the rest of his life because there's no way you're coming back from that. There's no way.
Yeah. Either
Yeah.
way. It's,
And here's another thing. No harm.
all right.
Why do people like shoving so many things up their ass? Why don't people stick to putting things up their ass that are made to go up your ass? Like ass dildos. Like stick to ass dildos.
As opposed to
Just
pussy
like,
dildos.
Like, I'm sure there are pussy dildos too. Like I mean,
I think you can interchange them. I
Yeah.
think they're not specific. To
yeah. Well,
each-
what I would like to get an ass dildo creator, an inventor of ass dildos to come on the podcast. I'd like to speak because there's butt plugs. You don't put a butt plug in your vanny, do you?
That's true.
So like there must be like anything, any process you need to have like a planning stage. So there must be someone planning the development of dildos.
An R&D department for the
because
butt plugs.
like especially nowadays, sex toys are big business. Like, so there must be
huge business.
There must be people
over the pandemic. They cleaned up.
Yeah, well, I hope they did, because I mean, hygiene's very important.
It's very important
in that line of work. But you see people putting things up their ass like toy cars, gerbils, sticks.
Gerbils. Who did that again? What was the rumor? Someone did that.
I think everyone's had a rumor to do that. Like,
no, there's a specific celebrity that was rumored to have a gerbil up his hole. What? Google celebrity gerbil hole.
Celebrity gerbil hole. I mean, that's another game show.
Celebrity gerbil hole. Celebrity gerbil.
Richard Gere.
Yeah, there we go. That's who it was.
I mean, if someone gave me 100 guesses as to what celebrity put a gerbil up his arse, Richard Gere would not be.
Yeah, that's like a big fault, but I don't know how real it is. But it's like a big wave still.
Of all things,
what does it do? When it's
the legend, hold on. Richard Gere was admitted to an LA hospital in the early 90s to remove a gerbil from his ass. Gere had been indulging in an obscene sexual act known as, shockingly enough, gerbling, and was forced to seek medical attention after the rodent suffocated and died in his rectum. The truth is, I know. Now this is how you know. This is how Paddy starts a story.
Yeah.
And this is how you know this story's not true.
Yeah.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
Oh yeah.
I know a guy who knows a guy who used to drink with the brother of another guy whose ex-wife worked in the emergency room, and told me not only is this gerbil story true, but when the surgeons were rummaging around in Gere's ass, they discovered it contained more objects than Mary Poppins handbags. So this is what they say. This is allegedly what they found inside Richard Gere's anus: 3 Granny Smith apples, a camping stove, the complete works of Shakespeare, Le Pigeon au Petit Pois by Pablo Picasso, a half-eaten croissant, and a signed and framed photograph of Tony Curtis.
I have a funny feeling that's not a reliable source.
I mean, Richard Gere sounds like somebody who would deal drugs in an estate. And that's his nickname.
Yeah.
You need to go see Richard Gere for some
I need
poppers.
some coke. Where do I get it?
Oh, Richard Gere. Go see Richard Gere, and then also he would have a supply of poppers, because you need to get the gerbils up there and out again.
Oh fuck! It must take on a large.
Like
amount
Richard
of
Gere's
poppers.
arse must be like a Stargate. If you can do like. Here's the thing, right? You're a man
Starfish Gate?
Well, chocolate starfish gate.
Yeah.
If you're a guy who I'm sure gets his kicks sexually out of things, you know.
Sure.
Right, like we all do. There's always stuff we're into, like, you know. Pardon? Oh well, yeah, that's not a wooden statue.
That's a Richard Gere there.
But you know what I mean? Like, I like to think relatively, you know, like a nice pair of ditties will do it for me.
A nice pair of ditties.
Yeah, that'll
will
do it for me. But all I'm saying is, like, I don't think if someone was like, here, would you be up for trying something? You'd probably go, like, if you're, say you're in bed with your partner, whatever, and she's like, here, let me try, I'd like to try something. You'd go, all right, like what? And she maybe goes, got a bit of lube here, you want to try this on, or, you know, do you want to maybe apply some lotion to my bum or something, or you'd be like, yeah. But if someone's like, I would like to put Mr. Twinkle up your ass, like, Mr. Twinkle, your gerbil. It's like, no, Mr. Twinkle's my hamster. You know, you'd be like, absolutely fucking not, you mental bastard.
Yeah, because it's bad for him too, Mr. Twinkle.
Yeah,
because his fur and all's gonna get all stinking and all.
Yeah.
You know
And then
what I mean?
I don't like it whenever people are like, oh, I put peanut butter on my dick and let my dog lick it off. That's gross.
I don't know many people that do that.
But that's a thing.
That's a thing that people
yeah.
say and do. Yeah. Because if you put it there, the dog will lick it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, I have too much. Vinny's my boy. Like, I respect him too much. And, like, maybe if I met another dog that I didn't respect or love, you know, I'll never know. But I just think, I mean, call me old-fashioned, but I think you should keep, if you're an adult human, you should keep your sexual encounters exclusively to other consenting adult humans. That's my take on it.
I'll agree with you on that. Yeah.
And I mean, call me old-fashioned. It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. The beard's coming in nicely.
Yeah, you know what I did? I shaved it too.
Starting to grow.
I shaved it too low down here. I started. It's getting thinner and thinner, and I was going to end up looking probably like
Craig
David. Didn't want that, so I've started filling it out a bit.
It's good.
Yeah. So I wanted to come up the cheeks a bit more.
I'm getting my beard back now going too, so I had to shave.
So why did you have to shave it off?
For the old musical that I did.
That is right. You were in
West Side
musical
Story.
in the West Side Story in the Grand Opera House. How long did that run for?
Just a week.
A week, but what
longest week of my life.
But what was the preparation time for it?
Oh, like 4 months, but like 1 or 2 nights a week
Now,
rehearsal.
what's interesting about this, you have performed it, and I have seen it. so we can talk.
We can
we can talk at length about the West Side Story. Now, to be fair, before I went to see it, I thought
West
it was,
Side Story.
I thought it was a reenactment of the West Coast rap battle war between Biggie and Tupac. So whenever I was like, "Who are you going to be?" I thought probably if it's between. I mean, if I, like. I could be Biggie.
Yeah, and I could be Pac. We should do the white man's version of that show.
Oh no, if we're going to do it, we're going to
black out.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you got to do it, you got to do it. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't be the first time I've did it.
No.
But yeah, so that was. I appreciate that you came and seen it.
Yeah,
I hope you enjoyed it.
Let me just ask a question though. This is what we were discussing at one point, was did you do matinees, like 2 shows in one day?
On Saturday.
Yeah, that must have been tiring.
So yeah, the night you came was my second show that day, and by at the final part of the show, we have to lift the Tony, the guy who plays Tony, up and take him out, and I could feel my arm starting to, like, it was buckling.
You should have dropped them in Murdering Bastrd.
So yeah, it was by that point I was spent, and I've never felt more my age than the last week.
Yeah, but how long? What, like, obviously people see these things, they see shows, they see stand-ups, and they think, oh, that's easy. What's the sort of prep for that? Because obviously I'd have seen a lot more of you when you weren't doing a show, but you're flat out rehearsing, you're maybe gigging a bit less. What's the sort of the lead up to that?
So for this one, it was...
Can I just ask first, did you get paid anything?
Oh, yeah,
that's wild.
Look, at the end of the day,
it was a big production.
It was, but there was a lot of money that went into that as well. Like
absolutely, like it was like a proper.
Oh yeah, there was big set, and
big
there was costume, props, lighting, like all the flipping sounds. At the orchestra was a 19-piece orchestra.
Was it live underneath the stage at orchestra? Yeah.
So you've got
that's impressive.
A 19-piece band underneath there, like that, and they're all working together it's some operation. But we would do every Sunday. So you do from like full day Sunday, and then you do an evening. And so I would do like a Thursday evening, which is why I haven't been to Pugs as much, because that's when usually the rehearsal is. And then once you get like a week before the show, you basically do like a full week of rehearsing, like every night, like the show, and then the next week is the Opera House week. So it's not too bad, but it's just more. You're losing a few days here and there, and it's just like, but it could be worse. You know what I mean?
And in terms of the whole, like, the all-encompassing element of it, how do you come out the end of that? Like, obviously you've been seeing these same people for weeks on end. That's finished. Are the people there who you knew going into it? And are the people you just met? Have you new friends, or the people I need to be jealous of? Or what's going on?
I've made I've made some really great new friends, and there was some people who I already knew, and I got closer to them and stuff, so that was class. But there's no one you need to worry about or be jealous of. A lot of people. Good. It's funny, when I started the rehearsals, there's like a few sort of younger ones in the cast, maybe like 16, 17 and stuff. And
be careful.
No, boys. Well, still got.
Well, I know your friends were being taught. Be careful.
Yeah.
Keep them away from them.
And it was funny, the first few weeks, like I felt that they weren't really talking to me or stuff. And then eventually they started like getting comfortable and being like, here, you do the videos and all, don't you? And they started like talking about podcasts and comedy and stuff, and that's why they were obviously just a bit like, didn't want to come up to me and say it right away. And I was just like, it's fine, it's all dead on and stuff. But a few of them are all like, well, we want to go to gigs and we want to see a gig and blah blah blah. So we'll get a show together and get them all down. They can come to Pug some night.
And if they're under 18, they can't. So
most of them are over 18.
Good.
Most of there's
but
maybe just like few.
Who would you say would be your new friends? You're like, you have to call them characters, because I'll not know.
There's the kid that played Arab. I took a liking to, because
the high-pitched singer guy.
No, he's Baby John.
Right, okay.
All the names in the show are the most ridiculous fucking names.
Because that was the thing that took me a second to get used to at the very start. Was the very, hey buddy boy. It's like, wow, what sort of voice is that?
Yeah, we say buddy boy a lot, and then there's the names are like Riff, Action, Baby John.
Because you were Action Boy.
I was Action Boy,
and which people don't often know is actually the prequel to who eventually became Action Man.
Yeah. What other funny?
Let's be honest though, you weren't a nice guy.
I was. Have you ever seen that mean side to me?
I didn't like you. That's your character, you know.
How do you think my mum feels going to see it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she liked it. Like, we were like, we don't like Butler in this. Like,
yeah.
Like, in the beginning, you're like, oh, he's just like a wee testosterone guy, and then by the second half, we're like, nah, he's pretty much a cock.
But here's what you got to remember,
Uh-huh.
and this is the way I approached the role.
Yeah.
In the first half of the show, I've just watched my best friend die. And so in the second half of the show, my other best friend is on the verge of death. And all those emotions and all the sort of stuff that's happening.
Who's your other best friend?
The guy in the show, Tony. No, I mean
All right.
in the script, not in...
Yeah,
not
no,
in,
because what I'm going to say, because he not dealt with, did you not do your slyness before?
I was sly to Tony, but
Yeah.
then when Tony stands up for Rift dying and kills
Yeah.
Bernardo, Tony's then on my side.
Yeah,
so I
but
want to
then-
protect Tony.
But then does Tony not, do you not do your, like, spoiler alert, there was potentially, you know, an orchestrated gang rape.
No, we can talk about that scene if you want.
Done by you.
We can talk.
You orchestrated the gang rape. You used one of your
And then
friends.
I did the show.
You
Hey-o.
used one of your friends to rape another
So
character. And then was Tony not killed after that?
Tony was killed after that.
Yeah, so why did...
But he
so
was,
how was he on the verge of death?
But because Chino and PRs were looking for him, the Puerto Ricans were looking for Tony at that point.
right, okay.
And she came in trying to find Tony.
Yeah.
And so that's all, the emotions of that is all getting me
You
riled
don't want
up.
Gino to catch you, yikes.
Yeah, you definitely don't. But yeah, I remember I was talking to my mum about it yesterday because she hadn't seen it, and she was like, "That was a bit much, that scene."
Yeah.
And I was like, she was like, I was with she has her friends Vic and Sean.
Yeah.
She's like, I looked at Vic and Sean and went, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh, sort of, yeah. But look, this is what theatre is about. It's about...
No, it isn't.
No, here's
A gang rape.
no.
Theatre, if you want to go, if you're keen on this, get into theatre.
No, hear
Get
me out
into
here.
theatre.
It's about showing things like that, because things like that do happen and are real, and people, you know, it's uncomfortable to watch, and it's meant to be uncomfortable to watch, because you know, flipping, it's you're meant to show like what
and is West Side Story a bit of a take on Romeo and Juliet? Am I right in saying?
Yeah, so that's what it's
Yeah.
all about. So Tony and Maria are basically like a modern day, although it's in the 60s, like Romeo and Juliet, and it's the whole story of falling in love right away, and like
Yeah, because that was the one thing I said to Catherine when we were watching.
Very quick.
When he was like in the window and all, being like, "I love you." I said to her, I was like, "Hey, listen, no harm. They met at a dance last night, and this is the next day. Relax. Like, if this is in current terms, you're like, oh, you're obsessed."
We all say that, to be fair, in
Yeah.
the show. We all make fun of that. But here, you can't say anything. You flipping, you know, you got Catherine pregnant in about 2 days.
Yeah, well, I mean, it
What
was,
felt like it to me.
yeah, well, at the minute we've been together now. We've been together like nearly 6-7 years now.
Yeah.
Which is mental, because that doesn't seem that long to
But
me.
that first year, you guys went
Yeah.
balls to the wall.
Well, quite literally, you know. That's how we do it. You know, it's how we do. Let's not waste time here.
Yeah. But, so did you enjoy it in general? But
Yeah, I mean, I will say I felt the first half was long.
an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
I felt I
It's
was
a
like,
long
wow.
first half.
And I feel like all the action was in the second half.
Yeah.
So it was like, the second half was better.
Yeah.
I felt there were some bits that were like, you just cut down a wee bit, you're repeating yourself a wee bit here, and like
Yeah.
the songs are a bit drawn out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I thought overall it was a good show.
Some good songs, though. The America songs,
Yeah,
good, isn't
I
it?
feel like Catherine loves the dance aspect of it. I thought the choreography was fucking stunning.
It was.
Like, it was to a T perfect.
It was.
You know, the singing, like, in terms of, as you say, as an amateur thing, it was fantastic. No, there was, I mean, obviously you critique things when you go to see things. I thought that overall, the dancing, the act, the performance, the fights and everything, the choreography, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I thought some of the singing was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then I thought some of the acting was really good. I thought there were a couple of people who maybe let the rules down a little.
Right.
And a couple of people, but I
Name
think...
and shame. No, don't.
I mean, I'll happily do it, but I thought there were some people, like I said to you, I thought your acting was the best acting performance.
Thank you very much.
But also, I thought there
was some that just weren't
the
doing it
girl
for
who
you.
played Maria was like, I said how old was she? You're like 17. I'm like, well, if I'm in the audience, if you're a talent scout, you sign her up.
She
to the West End. Like,
is-
why is she known already?
No. I don't I don't think so. Like,
This is her face, right, singing, and the power coming out of her voice without even trying. It was like, how's that even?
yeah.
How's that possible?
She's only like 17 or something, and it's like
Like,
just-
if I'm the Simon Cowell of theatre,
yeah.
sign her up because she's going
everything
to just get
she
better.
does. Andrew Lloyd Webber. Everything she does is just
People don't like him anymore though because he ditched some play, didn't
He-
like a week before it was supposed to go out. He's like cancelled.
Yeah. He was a bit of a knob over COVID and stuff as well. Although there's a video of him on TikTok that's very funny. For some reason, he just took a notion to start DJing. Did you see this video?
No.
There's a video of him in the middle of London, just in out in the open, like at night time or whatever. It was like Trafalgar Square or whatever, and he's got DJ headphones on, and there's a Dex in front of him, and he's DJing Phantom of the Opera.
Well, that's something I'd be keen to see.
I'll still send you a link to it. But he's a very bizarre guy. He's an
he
alien
definitely
looking
is.
creature.
He is
isn't
a
it?
weird looking guy,
He's
but
like
I mean,
a wee melty.
see when you get that level of rich though, you just do whatever you want. Like he's
He's in his like 70s or something, isn't he?
yeah, rolling dubs like for respect.
I always say this about when you get to a certain age, like the Queen's age, right?
yeah.
What's she living for at the minute? See?
No, I know what she's living for the loyalist community in Northern Ireland. She is living to bring down the sea border. She's living to change the protocol. That's what she's
No.
winning. She's living to see Rangers dethrone Celtic again. That's what she's living for.
My thinking about, like, she's not breaking any new ground in the next few years. She's not
No.
skydiving. She's not like doing any bucket list activities.
What would you like as somebody who maybe, you know, isn't the Queen's biggest fan? I'm just assuming that. I don't know,
To
but
be fair, I like the Queen.
yeah, but I don't know what, like, the Queen to me, something like, I don't know why people A, hate her so much,
Aye.
and I don't know why
She's just an
B,
old lady.
people love her so much.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're like, bring down the monarchy, but you're like, yes, it is tough, it is, but like, you think of how much money that makes in tourism, and this, like, you go to London, you want to go see Buckingham Palace, you want to go and see,
But could you not
You
just
know.
have Buckingham Palace without the royal family in it? No.
but then, like, why would it be there? People would be like, make that in the flats, you know? So it's like, you need to have something. Now, albeit, like, there are elements of the royal family, Prince Andrew, who, you know, problematic. Like, that's... And you're going to get that with anything. But I just think the problem is toffs in general. Like, if you get that... Like, if you're just an entitled upper... You know, you're just an arsehole. Like, people are like... This is what I struggle with in this country here. The elections happen. They're like, I can't believe the DUP won't take their... And you're like, you can't believe it. Like... You can't believe...
what they've been saying.
So
for
hold
the
on,
last-
you can't believe the DUP and Sinn Féin can't work together.
Yeah.
Like, it's been such a successful partnership so far. Like, they haven't just collapsed the government for 3 years. But, like, here's the thing that's annoying. Never does any side ever go, oh, maybe we didn't handle that right. Like, for example, they're like, I can't believe the DUP aren't going here over this protocol. And then the DUP are like, well, I can't believe you collapsed the government over an Irish Language Act or over the RHI scandal. You know what I mean? So the two of them together are just going to go back and forward. Meanwhile, everyone's getting more expensive here. We're going like, how the fuck am I going to heat my house?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey guys, put all that like stuff, the cultural stuff or the historical stuff, slightly on the back burner. Deal with here and now, then just respect each other a little bit. You know, people are going to have difference. Like, I know people who support Tottenham Hotspur, and that's horrific. But I allow them to do that.
And
know
you
what I
work
mean?
with them.
Yeah,
to
but I
get
just
along.
sometimes think we're just so petty here.
I don't know
It's a
the
shame.
political situation as it stands now. So, what way is it working because of the whole DUP thing?
In what regard? Well,
They-
they're not going to nominate a first minister, or I think they're not going to nominate a speaker or a first. They're not going to nominate their deputy first minister basically until there's a resolution over the Northern Ireland Protocol.
And what does that even mean?
The protocol basically is, they're saying this, the Irish Sea border has been formed because of Brexit. So they're saying that because Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom voted to leave the EU, and they're saying like there's custom checks of goods coming from the UK into Northern Ireland, and they're saying there should not be custom checks because the Northern Ireland's part of the EU. But then at the same time, it's on the island of Ireland, which is the European Union, so there should be custom checks. So they're saying the sea border is causing there to be a separation between the UK, basically, which is, I think, a little bit silly, but also entirely the fault of the DUP in the first place because they did not negotiate a good Brexit deal. Now, my politics, I think that in Northern Ireland we're in a pretty cushy position whereby we have benefits coming from the UK, with benefits coming from the south. We're kind of in the middle, and we should just be grateful of that to some extent. Like, I think, should you have a British passport if you want? Should you have an Irish passport if you want? If would I have both? Yes, I'm going to get both. Yes, because if I'm standing in an airport in Malaga and there's a big queue for EU people, I'm not going to stand that. If I can just go, I'll go in here with my UK passport, or same if there's a big, I'm just going to go to EU. Yeah. Like, you got to. People are too, I think, here.
I like how your political thoughts all revolve around how long you have to queue in an airport.
But at the end of the day, you know, people, I think we're too indoctrinated and ingrained in believing what is the more, like, we should be doing this. But, like, ultimately, what does it get you and your family? Do you know what I mean? We're worried all about like all like everything, like the flag protests, and like, when you think about it, it's not that big a deal.
No.
That people really lose their minds about so much. You know, it's not that. Certain things are not that big a day-to-day issue. Do you know what I mean? And like, I don't know whether I'm just fortunate enough to have grown up in a way where I don't hate Catholics or Protestants based on the fact that they're Catholic or Protestant. You meet people and judge them on how you find them, and it's like, just, we could all live better together if we stop let's look for reasons to move forward and not look for reasons to stop. And I just think DUP and Sinn Féin are never going to work together. And why do we keep voting for them? That's my opinion.
Yeah, so you like the Queen, is what you're saying?
I mean, you know what? I do see the benefit of the Queen, but also I can see why there's no real point to it either. And I mean, at the same time, like, you've Boris Johnson kicking about there, he's the biggest tool there's ever been. Like, so he's here today, and I don't know what he's here to do. Should we just find out what he's going to do?
He's going to do fuck all. He's,
but you know what?
Shit.
Here we go.
Protocol change. Oh, so he's here to fix it?
Well, apparently so. Oh no.
Go ahead.
This is the problem. See, when you see Boris and he goes, oh, he's here to fix it, you go, oh no, he's gonna
make it worse.
The UK government is poised to introduce legislation that would allow ministers in London to override parts of the Brexit deal in Northern Ireland, a senior government sources said. Boris is due to visit Belfast later to encourage the restoration of Northern Ireland's government. Yeah. Like, just, you know what? Just have a government, guys. Fuck up. Deal with it. And see, when you're in government, deal with it. There you go. Just fucking deal with it. You know, and make things cheaper for us.
Yeah.
Give more houses to people that need houses.
There you go.
Let's fix the fucking health service.
Yes. Get all those important issues out.
And then make people's lives better.
There you go.
Do you know?
There you go.
And then here's another thing. Give people a reason to not go out and to protest silly things. Go in to spend time with their families. Go to work. You know? Also look at the benefit system. Encourage people to work. You know, give people, you know what I mean? Jeez.
The campaign trail with Davey.
Yeah,
I think we should just.
But what would be funny? I would be almost to some extent tempted to run for something. But then what would happen would be I would run. I'd be on an election thing, and someone would just make a supercut of all the things I've said on podcasts, and it'd be cancelled. Now, is it okay to be a politician in Northern Ireland and potentially have murdered people? Yes. Is it okay to be a politician in Northern Ireland and be blatantly, you know, a money laundering criminal? Yes. But you happen to say a few boo-boos, naughty boy.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem with this country lies.
I'd be the most corrupt politician.
Yeah, but that's what I've said many times.
Bought.
Like, see, whenever you start off going into politics, you think
you're going to be
doing good for the community, and
then
once you're in the community, people are like, here, do that for me. Here's a way you could earn this by doing that. You know, you'd be tempted.
Yeah.
You know, like, I was tempted. I was talking to my wife last night about, would you, like, how much would it take for you to get you get a tattoo? What would it get? And I just said, like, would you get, like, you know, my face tattooed on you and get underneath it, gone but not forgotten, R.I.P., and then me not be dead? And she was like, no, I wouldn't do that, because it's in poor taste. I'm like, but for how much money? She went, but then you're tempting fate. If that happens, will you die? I'm like, well, I'm going to die eventually. Like, but
yes,
how much? Like, it's a blank checkbook. If someone said to me, would you get me gone but not forgotten tattooed in your? How much are we talking?
Where have I to get it tattooed?
Wherever you want. Again, the check's blank, so you can negotiate. You'd be like, you could get my whole face across your back, full back, gone but not forgotten, entire back.
Well, how big does it have to be?
Entire back.
Back?
My whole face across your whole back.
Oh,
like,
fuck.
But again, you pick the money. So if someone goes to you, I'll give you 10 million quid.
Am I allowed to use the money to get it laser removed like a year later?
No, you need to keep it for a bit of time.
Well, how long?
Well, that's all on the go. This is the negotiating table. You can decide, you know. Because what I would do, I would get you on my back,
right?
Because then I just grow out my back hair and no one could see it.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I don't have that luxury.
No, or you could get it tattooed over.
Get tattooed over, yeah.
Would you rather get my right here's one. Would you rather get my entire face gone but not forgotten across your whole back forever, or would you rather get UDA tattooed under your eye here and a red hand of Ulster here, and you can get rid of it in a year? What would you rather get? It's a tough one, isn't it?
I think I have to get you on my back because I can't. You can't. You're not able to go outside. Oh no! Here's the thing. Here's what I do.
Yeah.
I get. Is this an issue? I get the UDA in the red hand, and then I just put 2 plasters on each side at all times.
Yeah, you
and
can do
I
that.
say it's a skin condition.
Yeah, like seal.
Yeah, I've got the seals.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I hire like a makeup lady or something that'll like do the plasters and then like do the wee brushing thing. Yeah, I just
would
put
you
makeup
come out
over.
and just say I'm doing a role?
Yeah, I'm something like that. Yeah,
And then you get it off after a year.
Yeah.
And then people are like, "Here, mate, where can I see that thing you're doing the UDA thing for?" And you'd be like, "Oh no, it's just for banter."
I was internal.
But
so
then
it was-
again, if you spend enough money on that, or you get enough money for it, you could just not leave the house. You could pay for like for a year, get it removed.
Yeah.
Could you if you £15 million? Could you stay inside for a year for £15 million?
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
I could stay inside for a year now. Yeah. There's
But do you think what you need to go outside for? There's things like the doctors.
delivered? I can get prescriptions delivered to yourself.
But then, what if you get like an infection in the UDA tattoo? Because you have to get the UDA tattoo done by a UDA tattooist,
and that's going to be dodgy. He uses like a wee stick and a hammer.
Yeah,
just doing
he
that.
uses a wee broken barrow, just fucking scrapes into your face.
You can get a doctor to come out to you, house doctor.
Yeah. I mean, I'm tempted if anyone's listening. Photoshop wizards,
to do a Photoshop.
do a
of me.
Photoshop of him with a tattoo.
The UDA and the red hand of Ulster. But yeah, no, I love staying in the house.
Yeah.
Do you not just have moments? I don't know if it's because of stand up and stuff, but if you're out like 2-3 nights a week gigging and shit, see that moment when you're just in the house and there's silence.
Yeah.
You don't have it because
No.
you have kids, but the rare moments that you do, you're just like,
Oh, it's nice. There's nothing better than
this is the best feeling in the world. I hate people.
like I was this week. I have a lot of work on, but I sometimes find that since being the full-time comedy guy, that if I'm left to my own devices, I will find anything else to do other than sit down to do the work that I need. So yesterday, I did a lot of a lot of the washing, a lot of tidying, cleaning in the house, so I could start this week and just get straight into work. So I've got yourself in for this.
Yeah.
And then tonight I'll have a free night, which may be the only free night I have this week. So it'll be a nice time. But I think that by doing that, you can appreciate the house more. A clean house is easier to, go. And then when the kids are in bed, you don't actually have to. Because normally when I get the kids to bed or send Matilda for a nap, or it's like as soon as they're out of my hair for a minute, it's like, fuck, I have a ton of things I need to do to just get above board.
You keep a very clean house. I've been in it.
Yeah,
It's
no,
very
I
nice.
try to.
Yeah, I do the same thing as well, just
Yeah.
because I can't deal with the mess. Like,
No, and see, having a dog, he's just fucking hair machine. Like,
your dog is excitable as well. Like when he's seen me, he basically pounced all over me and just licked
he's
all over me.
But you love dogs, though, don't you? You're a big dog guy.
Big dog guy. I was covered in his hair.
Yeah, I know he's wild. Like, but he's not so bad at the minute. We got his balls off. He's feeling a bit sorry for himself. So that's another thing. How much to get your balls off? I mean, all I'm saying is, if we have like a multi-millionaire listener here that wants to pay us to do these things,
Oh yeah, we're like the new Jackass.
except Balls Off is what we're called. We're a Russian-based show called Balls Off.
Balls off. I mean, I don't think there is an amount of money, but you have to
Really,
remember-
a not amount of money to get your balls off.
Well, here's the thing. It was like 100 million or something, maybe,
Yeah.
because
What about 60 million?
I go 40.
40? But then this is what I always think to people, like, you think this in a hypothetical sum, you're going to say nah. But like, if you have, I don't know why I was going to say Jacob Rees-Mogg, but if you've Jacob Rees-Mogg sitting over there and he's got £2 million in a briefcase,
Oh, definitely
he
not
can just
two.
give you. No, but
No.
it's hard cash. You can just
It's
give
not.
it.
Nope, not happening.
It's hard cash and a wee pair
Not
of
happening.
tweezers.
Not
I give
happening.
my balls away for fucking.
No.
If pay off the rest of my mortgage, you can have them. You can have a dick as well. Like.
My dick as
Yeah,
well.
take it as part
Sure,
of
I'm
it.
not using it at this fucking
Yeah.
junction in my life.
Yeah. Well, hey, speak for yourself.
Whoa, lucky lady. No, well, if you get your balls off, you can just get testosterone injected into you.
Is
so you
that
don't
the problem? Because
No, well,
because I thought because you've had a procedure, you may just get your balls off for the crack.
no.
So what do the balls do?
Produce testosterone.
Right. Okay. Well, I do take steroids,
Yes.
HGH, and testosterone boosters,
Yes.
so I'd be fine anyway.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
but that's what they do. Say, for example, you've had testicular cancer and you have to get your
Yeah.
balls removed in order to maintain your testosterone and still get.
Yeah.
They just give you testosterone injections. So
Nice.
you've no balls, but you've a dick.
If you were told to get your balls off,
Hmm.
what would you do with your balls if you're allowed to keep them?
I
I get my ears pierced to make the earrings.
that's a good shout. Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
probably. Do you ever see? Do you ever see when there's if you work in an office, you've got those wee accessories on your table where it goes
clink, clink, clink. Yeah.
I'd get that made out of them.
What would be funny though? You just clink it and it just stick. Just there you go. And you'd be like, you know what they are? That's my balls.
No, I have very porcelain balls.
Nice.
Like when I walk about, they clink.
The clink.
Yeah.
And I see, you ever seen those things that used to be a toy, like back in probably in like the 70s? It's like two wee plastic balls on a bit of string, and you hold it by the top, and you like clink them off each other.
Yes.
And if you get skillful, like in bang, like my granny used to have a toy like this. They used to hang on the radiator in the toilet, so anytime you're
Anal
doing
beads.
shit, I mean, it could
It
be
was
anal
anal
beads now,
beads.
but you could just. But then I've told a story in stand up
Yes.
before where I got a bed from my granddad when he went to. I don't know, I'm giggling. Well, he went into Marie Curie. Yeah, he went in there, but he just got a new bed before he had gone in there. So they were like, "Here, this is a sweet new bed. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Oh, boy." So I got his bed, and it was a nice new bed. Had drawers in it, so in the drawers were some of his stuff. So it was like, you know, he was into like photography and he was, you know, into history and stuff. So if you like war magazines and stuff, and like history magazines and like photography magazines, some like attachments, lenses and things. And then he had what I effectively thought was a dildo. Like I just thought it was just this dildo. And I was like, oh my god, it was disgusting. So I ran away and threw the dildo over the like wrapped it in toilet roll and ran away and threw it over the fence into this farm beside my house to just never, hopefully ever see a dildo again. And just like blanked my mind of the fact that my grand had a dildo, and then all I could think was, that's my granny, but fuck me. And it really stressed me out until I watched a documentary of Patrick Kilty in it, and it was about a guy who'd been shot in the face with a rubber bullet, and he was like, and he blinded me, this rubber bullet hit me, and he lifted up my granny's dildo, and I was like, not a dildo.
Imagine, like, how did it hit you when it came over the fence by some guys?
I was just out milking the cows, and then it wasn't hit with too much force. It was more the fact I was covered in toilet roll.
I was lobbed with it.
Yeah, I got lobbed with a rubber bullet, and the toilet roll caught my eye. But yeah, so all those years I thought that my granny and granda were like perverts, but he was just in the history
they are.
and
They are
had a
anyway.
rubber bullet. Yeah, so I tell you what, the rubber bullets wouldn't be sweet to get hit with. They are, but they're
huge.
about that size.
Well, yeah. It's, you think rubber bullet, you go, oh, it's probably like a wee thing.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
It's like this, yeah.
It's a full dildo, like.
I mean, wouldn't that be an entirely different? Wouldn't that be entirely different history of the Troubles if they just shot dildos at people? Like
it was the only thing that could get shipped over.
The Troubles would be because of the protocol. They're like, we're only allowed to clear dildos, no rubber bullets. Imagine, but that would make that would turn the Troubles into a bit of banter, wouldn't it? Like we could get over things quicker if we were just being shot with dildos.
Yeah. It'd definitely be a lot. The historical images of it would be funnier too.
I mean, and the murals. You know, be 10 out of 10. It's
fucking I told that I'm delirious. I'm so delirious right now.
That's pretty weird, isn't it?
It's funny. Remember you auditioned for a musical?
I did. Yeah, many
both
years
did,
ago.
but you did. It was your first one, really.
That would have been what it was. The Book of Mormon. 10 years ago. Yeah, it was a long
we
time.
both auditioned for the Book of Mormon.
Yeah,
in the West End, baby.
I know.
West End boys.
There we go. And believe it or not, neither of us got it.
But, shocker.
But it was a fun experience. But now I just don't think I am a musical guy now. I don't think I could do it anymore.
Back then, you could have been like, I remember that Fringe in particular. Your voice was fucked.
Yeah.
Remember you were doing You have this thing where like we would tell you rest your voice and you'd go listen to this Macy Gray impression and you do a Macy Gray impression and we'd be like stop doing it, you're fucking your voice, and then you wake up next morning and be like I can't talk.
I know. You're like, listen, your voice is fucked. You've strained your vocal cords. You have nodules in your vocal cords. And I'm like, these changes I face. Where do they go from here? Where will they stop? And then you're like, nah, stop doing that. But there was one particular show that you had to then fill in my parts because I was in the middle of doing a scene, couldn't speak.
That's right.
And then we can't probably say what exactly was said on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
But it was one of the potentially funniest moments of my life, but also at the same time, other people in the group potentially. How mental do people go about that? Like,
to be fair, I get it. Like now looking back on it, but at the time it was like they had only sort of told me a minute before going on stage.
I did as well, so I wasn't even one of the producers. So I was just like, "Here, mate, I can't speak." I was like, "I can't speak, but I can't speak." Can you go on for me? And you're like, "What's the gist of it?" And I went, I basically just said to him, you go on when I push you on and just insult the guy on stage, right? So he goes on to insult the guy, just so scathing. But the thing was, the very tail end of the insult, in fact, the start of the insult, he called somebody a specky something cunt.
I called him a specky gay cunt.
Yeah,
right?
Right.
And the funny thing about that is, in the sketch,
yeah, this is the funniest bit.
He wasn't wearing glasses. And also, he was trying to flirt with a girl.
So you just went on for this inappropriate.
I insulted the actual guy.
And then I'm going, why has he done this? But at the same time, like, my insides are bleeding. Yeah, and everyone else is going, what the fuck have you done? And I'm sort of going, oh my god. I'm looking out, and the guy doesn't have his glasses on. Like, one of our friends wears glasses but not for this scene, and you've just gone out and just been so fucking hurtful. And you're like, was that good? But we're like, potentially the worst thing we've ever seen. Now, our only saving grace, I think, was it wasn't filmed, and I think there was about 2 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
But my god, see, when you said it, I was just going, because like, I think what my line was right, baby bird, get out of the way.
It was something
it's
like
that.
that.
Make way for the quarter pounder, something like that. You just go on, you specky something cunt. You're like, oh my god. But see, to me, I find things like, I've always found stuff that you shouldn't laugh at the funniest.
Oh yeah.
And like, seeing everyone else's face was like this.
Oh,
You'd think you just done it on Saturday Night Live, you know?
Yeah. Oh man, but I felt
wild.
it was one of those ones as well. I was young at the time, and I just felt like shit. It was like everyone was fucking annoyed at me, and I was like,
do you know what? Do you ever look back in those days and go, I maybe took that a bit too seriously?
Well, they did. I thought at the time they took it seriously. I was like, that is fucking, like, I did one fuck up like the whole run.
But I don't even mean that. I just mean generally speaking. Like, see at the submission of sketches and all, you're kind of like you're almost like, oh, pick mine. It's like it was an amateur thing. We were all friends. Get over it.
Oh yeah, totally.
It was a bit. I sometimes thought it was a bit too serious. But then again, that being said, it was a really fun time. I enjoyed doing it.
Well, that was probably the downfall, was how serious it got.
You know what I mean?
Instead
what?
Of just sticking to the
I think
funny.
it's like anything. Maybe some people were looking to think like delusionally so that this was going to just become massive, and it wasn't. However, it was one of the best launching pads for going into comedy, because if it wasn't for our FNT, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? And like, it was a good education. It definitely taught me how to write funny things, and it also made me determined, because there wasn't a lot of sketches I ever got okayed. I was like, well, I know I'm funny, and I will keep believing in myself. And here we are. So
this is it. Now you've had the success with William of Orange.
Well, hopefully, and hopefully there's more to come.
That was
Thank
really
you.
Good.
But I would just like, I just want everyone to have a good time, be funny, make people laugh. I
was thinking about this yesterday. I've been in an emotional mess the last day with the show ending, and it's such an emotional show that it makes you think about everything in life in general. It makes you think like, what are you doing things for, and what's your like motivation, and what have you come up with? Like, what
where are you at now? Have your motivations changed? Have your goals changed? Let me ask you do you look at yourself as a person any way different at the end of this than you did at the start?
Yes, but positively. Like I look at it as from a proud.
Are you action man now? Would you say?
Yeah. No, I think I said this to a few of the guys before in the show and stuff like. But the last time I did a musical was about 9 years ago.
Grace.
Yeah.
I was there too.
Exactly. You were there as well.
Kinnicky.
Kinnicky, yeah.
Right.
And on opening night, I remember having to go sign on the dole. Because I had no job, I had no flipping prospects.
Because you went on and you called the lead a Specky something.
Yeah. And so then to come back 9 years later and have like a house, a mortgage, like a bank account, flipping everything is good for me in life.
Cool, man. Like, yeah.
I just think that the person 9 years ago, the kid, if he was to see what I ended up doing and how it all came together, you'd be so like proud, you know what I mean? And that got me choked up. Yeah. To no end, like so.
Well, one thing we do when we get together on podcasts is nearly make each other cry. So I think this is fair.
Yeah. But I think I just like to make people smile.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think that's all I want to do in life is just to make people smile. And I
like to always ask this to myself to like because sometimes things can be tough. Like whenever you're doing this line of work, you maybe think you're not getting what you deserve, or you're not getting.
We get stressed.
Making the success of it that you would like sometimes. And do you ever look like, I always say to myself, if I were to talk to my 18-year-old self, I would be buzzing. You know, if I was 18, I'd be like, this is what you're going to be doing, this is where you're going to be, this will be your life. I'd be like, well done, me.
I actually think mine would be upset. When I was like 16, 17, I sort of had these delusional ambitions of being like, oh, I'd be like a movie star, be on TV shows and stuff like that, and I've not did any of that. But that isn't to mean to say that I'm sad that I haven't done any of that. It's more just life changes and things work out differently, and not everything goes according to the way you think it's going to and plan to, and blah blah blah. I never planned for any of this really to be the way it is. I've just sort of took it day by day, and like I'm happy where I am in life at the minute, which is, you know, great. And I've got my health, I got my family, my mum and dad. Like that's probably, those little things are the things that are more significant than anything else. The fact that
speaking of your dad, I saw your dad.
Oh, my mum after they seen you.
After I didn't get to speak to them though. We were just heading in at it, and we were meeting friends in there, so we had to go in and sort of get him sorted. But on the way out to speaking to your dad, and he was standing by himself out the front of the opera house as we were coming out. I went over, said hello, and the first thing he goes, oh, something, wasn't it? Like, it was fuck me. Like, I think he was like, fuck, like, we just, because like the first half was all sort of like sunshine and rainbows, and the second half, oh, by the way, what did they use an actual gun? Yeah, because
the sound
that I think that near gave me a heart attack.
Do you know what's mad about it? Fucking hell, this is so crazy. So like, basically the first half of the show, yes, it's all, and then the second half, like the show doesn't end on a high. No. The show ends very sadly, and it's meant to be like that because it's meant to make you walk away feeling a certain way.
But can you I need you to, before I forget, explain to me what the deal was with all the kids. What are they supposed to symbolise?
The kids were meant to represent like the younger versions of us.
That's what I thought it was.
At the start.
And then at the end they're dead.
At the end, it's more like sort of a dream fantasy sequence where you have like Tony, Maria, and
I wanted Maria to die. I thought that would have been does she die in the other one?
No. That's the way it plays out in the movie and stuff. You should watch the Spielberg movie, by the way. It's really good. Yeah. But regardless, so at the end of the show, yes, a real gun gets fired, and the sound from that.
Yeah, thankfully it's not Alec Baldwin.
I said that joke when we were rehearsing it, by the way. Killed.
Like him.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we were backstage, and every night we'd just be like, here it comes, because it's fucking, so the audience,
did you know when it was coming because of the performance of the actors? You were like, hey, Maria, boom.
Yeah, you know, when you've did it that much, you know every single beat that is coming next. So it's a real gun, and because it's a real gun, it makes that fucking huge sound every single night. The audience has a jolt, but then it's also like a nervous laughter they
Yeah,
have
you always
after.
get the
They're-
laughter,
they're
yeah.
like,
I know, they just, the main guy gets shot dead. Everyone's like,
I know. We would be
Yeah.
backstage being like, it's so weird that they laugh,
Yeah.
but it's because it just has scared them, and
Yeah.
and that's what's happened. And then we run. Man, most nights when I did that final scene, because I run out and stuff and sort of see Tony lying there dead, my eyes were just
yeah,
watered.
you should have been killed. Your character was
It's
a piece
like-
of shit.
No, but look, I'm trying to
He
justify.
was a specky cunt. Your character, he should have been killed.
I'm trying to justify why he was, acting the way
Yeah.
he did. But yeah, look, I almost didn't do it when they offered me it. I was like, I don't know if I'm up for this. But then I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a chance.
What's because you were saying there that your last stage show was Grace 9 years ago. Is it something you want to continue doing? Would you like there to be another 9 years, or would you like to do something quick again, or where are your ambitions now? Or what do you want to do?
I'm getting old. And I know that the window on playing certain roles is closing.
Yeah.
Like being a T-bird, for example. It's going to be. Nah, I got away with it here, I think. Think it was all good, but yeah, I don't know what the future sort of holds for that. It's like.
But you can do other plays too. Like you can play
do
other
other
roles.
plays. I can do other roles. Like I can transition to sort of character roles and stuff like that, and bit parts and all those little fun things. But I think I'm very satisfied and happy and proud of what I've did here. I don't think I'll do one for another at least 2 or 3 years if it does, and then even then, who knows? It has to be the right show as well for a company to do.
What would be the sort of shows you would want to be involved in?
I like good fun shows and just whatever a role I'd be suited for. Like, for example, I like Little Shop of Horrors. I like Jesus Christ Superstar. I like Jersey Boys. There's loads of different
Tell you
ones.
what, I would tread the boards if Sweeney Todd was looking.
Sweeney
Or
Todd,
I would do it.
I think they have done it here before,
Yeah.
so they could do it again.
Yeah, I would do that.
I
did it at the Theatre in the Mill. I think I actually was going to go see it.
Yes, yes.
But you know what I didn't? Go and see it.
You didn't
Because
go
you weren't
see
in
it.
it. I only go see
Because
it.
you do only go
Yeah,
see the musicals.
yeah.
But have you ever seen a show in West End or anything?
Yeah. I went to Broadway, see Les Miserables.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one too. I would do it
Again,
too, for a
dark
bit of
and
crack.
sad,
Yeah.
though.
I left it, like, I think I might have cried at it. I was like, that's kind of, like, it was a bit of a mug off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of misery. You're like,
Yeah.
Is it a
Show I
Lloyd
would
Webber
do.
special?
Oh, no, the Who, I can't remember
No,
who
it was Stephen
wrote it.
Sondheim, was it? Or
No, it
he
wasn't
was
Sondheim.
Sweeney Todd. That's what I'm thinking.
It was, I can't remember the name of the guy. I know Cameron McIntosh produces it, but I don't know the name of the actual
yeah, I
thing.
want to see that. But
Lloyd Webber has this thing where like people think, oh, he's like the best in theatre or whatever, but he hasn't really wrote a good show in 30 years.
oh wow, sass.
Take that, Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
The when you think about all his classic hits, it's like Phantom and then everything else. Cats, again,
Yeah.
these are all in the 80s. He had like a little run in
Starlight
the 80s.
Express. Did he do it?
He did. All in
Yeah.
the 80s, Miss Saigon, all in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then it was like,
I would do Miss Saigon only if I could do the accents. If they didn't let me do that,
I think
wouldn't.
you can, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
I'd do
alright
that.
if you do.
In primary school, I did the Mikado. I was in.
Oh yeah,
that, yeah,
I've heard
did that.
people. Yeah. I would
a lot
have
of
loved
fun.
to have seen that.
Yeah, and I did. What else did I do? Oliver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You could be the bad guy in Oliver now. I can't remember what his name.
Fagin?
Yeah, you could be Fagin.
Yeah, I could do Fagin, all right.
Yeah.
Because he walks around with sausage and a fork.
But
so
you're from West Belfast, so you're Tegan.
I know Tegan. Tegan sounds like a character that would be in the Marvel universe. I am Tegan. You know?
Do you like the Marvel universe?
I could. No.
No,
No, not really.
I
no.
thought because you were making a reference to it, you were a fan.
No, I know of things. I'm culturally aware.
Right.
You know,
you're
I
just
know.
not invested.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like a lot anymore. You know,
I find it difficult to like new
hard to-
things.
yeah.
See whatever I like now.
Uh-huh.
That's just that I like it.
Yeah.
See people go to me and they go, "You need to watch this new series."
Yeah.
Nope. Or people
No.
go, "You need to watch this old
Like the other
series."
day, I was in Dun Shane's podcast, and he was talking about this band who I've now learnt the name of, the Bad Boy Chiller Crew. And he's like, man, I want to go and see the Bad Boy. I was like, mate, you know you're mid-30s. Stop trying to be so... It's creepy.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting on, like, you're getting on like a bit of a Savile guy. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
You know, just like who you like your own air things. Don't be going to events where, don't go... Like, if I wouldn't go to see Little Mix by myself, you know, that'd be a problem.
True.
So-
I wouldn't do that either.
No.
I'm trying to think what would I do that's weird.
Well, I mean, plenty of
A lot
things because
of
you're
things,
a weird
yeah,
guy. But like cinema wise, my mate Daniel was my cinema partner, and he's moved to London, so I think my cinema days are an awful.
Do you and your wife never do a wee cinema date?
Not really.
She not like that?
Well, if we do get cinema, like if we do get date time, which is rare at the minute, we'd probably just go for like dinner and drinks or something,
Something. Yeah.
But I don't know. She doesn't really like sitting in the cinema, and she'll be like, anytime we go to the cinema, you just fall asleep. And I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
I like to fall asleep at cinema. I remember we went to see a shite film once. It was called like
Titanic.
No, it was like fucking Great Mercy or something. It was
Sounds
like
awful.
It was that guy that you like with the big nose.
Richard Gere.
No, it's big hole. That film.
That guy like with the big nose, Pinocchio.
Yes, no, he's Kylo Ren. What do you call him?
I don't like. Why do I like him?
Adam Driver. You love Adam Driver, like
I don't.
You mate, don't talk shit.
I don't. Do you know I don't watch Star Wars?
Mate, no, but you love Adam Driver. He's
Why do
one.
I love Adam Driver?
If someone goes to me, tell me something about Butler, I would go, he was a Marine, he loves Adam Driver.
So him as a Marine?
He's a rare looking bastard. Silence, right? This is a film that I went to see in the cinema, and I got excited about it because it was a Scorsese. It had Adam Driver, your favourite actor, Andrew Garfield, another one of your favourite actors.
I do like Andrew Garfield.
Liam Neeson, potentially my favourite actor.
Okay.
And Kieran Hines, who's also great. But we'll hear the critical response to Silence.
Okay.
83% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's actually good.
Yeah, it's like, this is a creative quest, thoughtful, emotional. You know what it was? Fucking boring. It was like 4 hours of boring shite about like 161 minutes asking you questions about, oh, well, I wanted to see monks go to fucking China and get scalped, but it was just boring. It was dull. I want to see like proper fucking drama. Like, people are like, Braveheart's not historically accurate. I know, but it's a fucking ride, isn't it? I want to see action like that.
Yeah. You want to keep the pace going. You want realism. You want fucking just.
And like, I like. I'm trying to think, like, a great film I saw at the cinema that I was like, I left and went, that was great. Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood film. Loved that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I sometimes think the Marvel Universe, I think it's overhyped. I think sometimes people are like, this is amazing, and you watch it and you go, it's entertaining, but it's definitely not. A bit of me thinks the nerds are getting too big for their boots here.
Sure.
And like, I haven't seen the new Batman yet, but I will watch it.
I've seen it.
And I've heard good things about it. But then people are like, this is the best thing ever.
See, I don't know if it's the best thing ever. I know Woodsy loves it.
But he's a nerd, so.
But then part of me, he is a nerd. I can't talk. But I think you have to be careful with like the recency bias when you see something. Like when you see like a new Marvel, you go, that's the best one. And you're like, but is it?
You know who I liked the Aquaman film. I liked his wife.
I've never seen that one.
I liked his wife in Aquaman. I think
is that not the girl that's on trial?
I think she is the best actress, whatever her name is.
Oh dear.
And I want to see more of her. I would like to see her.
I have a funny feeling she'll be back. Yeah.
And I feel like,
I think it's going to be alright for her.
I mean, there's another thing. You know, that whole Amber Heard,
I haven't paid
Johnny
much
Depp
attention
case,
to it, but it seems mad.
Cancelling them both, like they've obviously had their big problems domestically, but should they both be never work again? I don't know. You know, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that should be the thing.
I just think the two of them just need to fucking reach some sort of conclusion on it and go, right, fucking, we're both idiots here. Like, no one has came out of this looking great.
No.
So it's like, once you get to that point, it's like, all right, let's just fucking call it a day. But I don't know. It's all money and shit, isn't it?
Yeah, and quite literally, and shit, because apparently there's a story of that where there's a big shit in his side of the bed. She dropped a bomb in the bed. Hey, you know,
it's so bizarre. Like,
yeah, it's definitely not normal. Definitely not normal.
They have all the money in the world, all the fucking opportunity in the world.
Yeah, I hate to sound like your mum though, but you know, money doesn't buy happiness.
Apparently not. They shit it up the wall.
Quite literally, yeah.
Quite literally. But yeah, I'm excited to get back to gigging.
When have you anything lined up?
I've nothing this week, but I've got next few weeks. I've got stuff lined up.
Am I doing anything with you? Because I know I have gigs. I just haven't put my diary yet. So I need to go and like check up my emails and whatnot.
We're doing Lambeg together on the 3rd of June.
I mean, what's better than Lambeg on the 3rd of June?
That'll be a fun one. Hopefully, we'll have a few ones coming up and stuff. But it's I've just, because I haven't gigged in like 2 weeks now. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, oh shit, I need to.
Yeah, be grand. It'll be like getting back on the horse. You know?
Yeah. Just getting back to normal life in general is difficult after doing a show.
See, the show, was it all sold out? Because we found it hard to get get tickets.
Yes.
The whole time, and that's impressive because Ed Sheeran was here for a couple of nights, and
He was. My
it
dad
seemed
worked at that.
like everyone went, like doing what?
He built the stage area and he built all the gates and stuff to
Fucking
protect
hell.
security.
Fair
Now,
play, like.
not just him alone,
Yeah.
but for
Just say like that's fair bit of work.
for 2 weeks, a whole crew of them did it. Yeah.
Do you ever see like when concerts come here, just everyone seems to go and like just go fucking. And why is it when people go to concerts they think they need to like wear flowers?
That's a
Wear
good
flowers
point.
on her, and then those stupid hats like they're in Oasis. Idiots.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Just wear normal gear.
I don't go to those things.
No.
You wouldn't go to those, would
Nah,
you?
I
Yeah, I
mean-
remember you went to Erasure,
I mean, I went to Erasure,
and the
I was-
video of you from that is hilarious.
Yeah, I went to Robbie Williams. I was actually a Robbie Williams concert that Erasure opened for him. So it's my
but
favorite
you were
band.
you were
Oh,
more excited about the opening.
far more because Catherine's favorite is what Robbie Williams, and my favorite's Erasure. So
Oh.
it was during. I went to Snow Patrol in War Park. That's good time.
Right.
And I was supposed to go to Rammstein, but they cancelled. So I mean, I would have loved Rammstein.
Yeah, because Shane was taking the piss out of me because I haven't really been to any of those things. Like.
Yeah, but he also needs to bear in mind he doesn't need to go to all the concerts. With all he thinks in his head he's a 24-year-old guy. But he
Yeah.
isn't. It sounds cool to get old.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to be a guy. He will have fillers. He will start wearing. You know, he's a guy.
Fillers.
He will fight to remain as young as possible.
He
you know?
he does like to be that sort of young, but he also, I think, is self-aware that
No, absolutely not.
no. If you hear me out here, he'll go to the gig, but then he'll also, as soon as he gets to the gig, be thinking, what's my exit strategy, because I want to get home and have a cup of tea. He's
Yeah.
that way inclined too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's always like, right, I'll stay here for 5 minutes, show my face, and
Get
then
the photos for socials.
get the photos for socials, and then I want to be back home in tea, watching Match of the Day for half
in
nine.
tea, like he fills his bath
With tea.
With tea.
Oh, look, he's got
Getting
that new
it- yeah.
house, so that's what he's got installed in it, you know?
Yeah, a
the
tea
the
sauna.
tea bath. Yeah. That would be a treatment at the Galgorm.
Yeah, I mean,
And you would pay through the roof.
but you
for
know
it.
what I wouldn't do? Pay because like, and this might no disrespect to the Galgorm,
No do.
but you know what? Too expensive for hot baths. You know,
Too expensive. Buy a hall. Go to
Yeah.
Spain.
But see, for that price, you want more than hot bath, like just a different hot bath. You get out, oh, it's cold, there's another hot bath. Let's go, oh, it's another hot bath. A bubbling hot bath. You can go and sit in a hot bath without bubbles by the river, and they bring you one champagne. Now, I want butler service for the hour, and that means you.
That
You
means me at the Galgorm.
Yeah, I want you in the Galgorm, but I do think, like, the Galgorm, it's a nice time,
Yeah.
but it's overrated. It's like the Rabbit's a new thing everyone seems to be
Oh, yeah.
go for now, but it just looks, I mean, smacked out to me.
It looks like the Playboy Grotto mansion. Like, if you
Yeah.
see the photo, you're like,
But I mean, it wouldn't
oh,
be
they
nice.
having orgies in here?
Yeah, like, but then nowadays we're in 2022. We're trying to be respectful people.
Hmm.
You have the underwater where you can just perv and arses,
Yeah.
you know, or bellies moving about in the water, which wouldn't be nice.
Yeah, maybe
You
some
know,
people.
I don't
like,
think I'll go to the Rabbit. Where did I go recently? Like, I don't want to tell people this because it might give it away. Loch Earn Resort and Spa.
Oh, love
10
it.
out of 10 for older guys.
Love
like
the
me.
Loch Earn.
It was tremendous. The food was amazing.
Yep.
The spa was amazing.
Did you go into the Thai spa?
Yes.
Did you get a treatment?
I didn't get a treatment, but I was in the Thai spa.
I whenever I go, I get a treatment, and it'll be the best choice you make.
but
They've
it,
got,
the,
like-
the Loch Earn to me is the best out of all those experiences.
Here's
I
why
enjoyed it
it's
the most.
great, right?
And the best value for money and the best grub.
I agree. It's good cost. And it's still dear, but look, it's a little bit cheaper. It's so out of the way that it's quiet, silent. There's nothing around it.
Yeah.
And then it's like it has everything, and it's comfortable, and the beds are nice. And then another one that I like, I'd probably go Loch Earn, and then I go Sleeve Donard.
Yeah.
Sleeve Donard's good because
Yeah.
you've got that strip on Newcastle, so you can take a walk up the fucking marina and all
That's
that. Blah,
nice.
blah, blah.
That
Those
is
are good
nice.
times. I would way rather go to those two over the Galgorm any
Yeah.
day. Galgorm, I think's overhyped, overrated.
It isn't too full of people.
It's
as
like
well.
it literally is just a social media place.
Yeah.
For people to be like, my boy took me to the Galgorm, or we're at the Galgorm
Yeah.
today. Now, if they offer me to go there,
Do you know
I'll go.
what? The grub wasn't that great. But I mean, ultimately, what I'm saying is people, rather than take offence by what we say in this podcast, prove us wrong. Invite me and Bob down. Put us up for the night. We'll do a video for it. We'll make content.
We'll review.
And we'll have it. We'll review it.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
I would
We'll-
love just me and you standing in a spa together.
It'd be
just
tremendous.
It'd be
a great time. You know, the otter and the bear just via the
slipping
water.
into the hot tub, the
Yeah.
hot bath.
I'm actually I did a move when I used to go to a gym where there was a hot tub that's quite near to the pool, and it was probably about a meter between the hot tub and the pool, and I used to do this move I called it the Shamu, where I would just get out of the hot tub, I put my hands by my side, and I would jump and I would just slide across like Shamu into the water, and I would slink in. It was very graceful, very impressive. And you think this is never going to serve you any good stead, there's going to be no point in you doing this. Then one day I got set upon by a group of my mates in the hot tub. They pulled my boxers off me, and then or my trunks, my swimming trunks, and fucked the swimming trunks into the pool, and I was left with no clothes on in the swimming pool. And I was like, what did I do here? I found a mask. It was like a dinosaur mask for like the kids to play with, and it was like almost like a thong. So I took the dinosaur element, I pulled it on, the mask bit went, it was more of a jock strap, to be fair. So I had my bare arse, a big dinosaur face over my dick. I just shamued into the water, and then got my boxers, and they were like, I've never seen anybody, like, I thought I was going to have to walk out holding my dick and balls. No, I just shamued into the water like a most graceful orca you've ever seen in your life.
It's just the idea of the dinosaur's face on your dick.
Yeah, I mean, it was the only friction. Everything else was so lubed and just slidey, whereas the dinosaurs, a wee bit of along the
Jurassic
ground.
Park.
Yeah, that was it. But speaking of
Jurassic Park,
Jurassic Park, which probably exists online. I'm sure the Otter and the Bears feature in Jurassic Park. But speaking of Ed Sheeran, are you a fan?
Yeah, but I wouldn't go see him.
No, so you're not really then?
Well, I'm a fan of loads of people and I wouldn't go see them.
Like who? Dionne Warwick? Who? I don't know why Dionne Warwick was the first person I ever thought of.
Name me some musician artists. I'll tell you.
Milli Vanilli.
I'm not going to see Milli Vanilli. They're fresh.
Yeah.
But they're also dead.
Yeah, well, one of them's alive, so just be Milli.
I wouldn't go.
Or Vanilli.
Well, I like Tony Hadley, but I wouldn't go see him.
Would you go see Spandau Ballet though if they got the Kent Boys on board?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who else did I like? I'd go. Oh fuck.
Who's your favourite? Michael, obviously.
Oh
He's
yeah,
dead.
Michael, Elvis, all dead. R. Kelly.
Would you go and see R. Kelly live in McGarbury? Like not doing a concert, just eating
But
his
just as a
dinner?
call?
Yeah, just would you go visit him?
Yeah, have a chat with him. No. Who? I'm trying. What's the name of song? Like, I wouldn't go see Harry Styles.
No?
No.
One Direction?
No.
Would you go and see like a band? Would you go and see U2?
No.
Would you go and see Spice Girls? If they got together?
Nope.
No.
No, I genuinely, when it comes to like all those concerts and stuff,
What about Robson and Jerome?
are they the ones who sing Sound of Silence?
No, that's Simon and Garfunkel. Robson and Jerome sang
Unchained Melody?
Unchained Melody, yeah. Like I think that, like their album was great, Up on the Roof. Tunes.
Thing is, I mean, just to hear Unchained Melody live, I'd probably have to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd say yes to
So
that.
out of everyone we suggested, Robson and Jerome would be the ones you go and see.
Unchained Melody's a timeless song, though.
Yeah, Righteous Brothers they sang first, didn't it?
I thought it was Robson Jerome.
No, Robson and Jerome covered it. I think the Righteous
Oh,
Brothers.
no, then go see the Righteous
Yeah.
Brothers. Fuck Robson
Yeah.
Jerome. No, that's what we established. No, I wouldn't see
Yeah.
Robson Jerome. But yeah, there's loads. I just couldn't give a fuck. You can watch live performances on YouTube. I know
Yeah.
it's not the same feeling as being in the place, but I've been to a live show here and there. I'm fine.
Yeah, you know,
It's like I went and seen the UFC live in Orlando years ago, and it was good to do once,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't go do it again.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it was alright.
yeah, just grand.
It was just like I think it's better watching it at home. I think you just see
you
better.
see more, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
The
like
concerts are a bit different because, but again, you don't drink, so maybe that's part of it. You know, you go and you have a few drinks, it's a bit of crack. Like
Yeah.
when I saw Snow Patrol in War Park, wow, that was a lot of fun. But again, I was absolutely hammered.
By the way, drinks are expensive at the minute. I've learned.
Hey, get into the fucking store and sort that out.
I've learned because we had our after party at Fertelli's on Saturday, and I got one Red Bull. What?
I thought you said fertilities, and it took me a minute to work out.
Oh no! Sure, we sorted that years ago. Are you going to get your fertility sorted?
Nah.
You going to keep it?
Yeah, fucking
fertile.
right. Yeah. They may forget.
Bold move.
Palling a teeny, I'm busting a teeny, mate. I'll keep it fucking going, like.
Busting a teeny.
It
It doesn't even add up. Busting a teeny.
Yeah, I'll keep it fertile for a while yet. You know?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, for a Red Bull, it costs £5.50. No mixer.
That's a rip-off.
No
like.
mixer.
No, that's bullshit.
What the hell?
Oh, speaking of fucking fertility,
Yeah.
we watched a documentary on Netflix last night about this doctor. I think it was called Our Father and My Father, but this fertility doctor, but he was just using his own spunk. So like,
I've heard about that.
Yeah, so they were all, so like women were going in being like picking a donor and all, and he was going like, I just stick your legs up there, and he's going in the room fucking busting in the wee tube and going, oh, there you go. So like he was, but not legally. but he's raping people. But according to the law, it's like, no, it's grand. I think he's still out. I think he's just, there's no. But then the problem with that is there's loads of his fucking DNA about the small wee village. You know how many kids he has, mate? 94. So then, like one of them are doing DNA tests trying to fucking match other, and they find out the fucking like 93 brothers and sisters kicking out there.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
That's
and that was his excuse to try and get out of it. Oh, the Lord thing. Because then what people someone tried to
Netflix?
say, yeah,
I need to.
You
watch
need
this.
to watch it. So it's like it's a feature rather than a series, but it's an hour and a half, and
it's a doc. Yeah,
it's fucking wild. And then like apparently. This is how, like, we had to stop it because it was disgusting. No, we had to stop it because we went to bed last night and didn't want to fucking keep watching this shit. And so we're going to finish it tonight. But at one point, they're like, that's so obviously some of the kids were like, I'm not religious. And this guy was fucking blaming everything on, you know, and one of the guy was like phoning up one of these, who is his kid, basically, and was like, don't be telling news about this because it might cause it. I've been married for 54 years and this might cause a divorce here. And they're like, yeah, but my life's a whole fucking lie because of you. You're a fucking sex pervert, like. And he's like, but then the thing is, like, because it's a small town, it's like West Belfast, right? So say there's 94. Well, I mean, there probably are dads out in West Belfast that have 94
I mean, we
kids.
know we gig with one of them.
So like, there's probably the thing is everyone had to do fucking DNA tests, going on dates and all, because they could just be basically shacking up with their half brother, half sister. It's fucking scary, like.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
think about that.
And then he was saying, because like someone was trying to say that when he was younger, he killed a kid in his car. He didn't see this girl came out on her bike and he ran her over. So they're trying to be like in his wee warped head, he was like trying to make up for that kid he killed by. But then even at that, you know, that's your job. You're a fertility doctor, so it doesn't have to be your sperm. You know, you are still helping kids.
So he was. Essentially, he's just telling them you're getting this sperm, but then he's giving them his sperm.
Because then, like, that was.
But he's not
happening.
penetrating them, right?
Well, not with his penis, but
that's
with,
what I mean.
But with like he's doing it like it's a fucking turkey baster, but it's fresh jizz, like so.
See, because I've heard apparently, when it comes to sperm donation, has taken such a turn, that apparently freezing sperm isn't actually a thing.
No, because what they say, they keep it room temperature. So there was one of the nurses who
but
worked
even
for him.
keeping it room temperature, like it basically to get sperm in its utmost, like fucking, it has to be fresh.
Yeah,
like,
from the source.
It has to be from the source. It has to be, but like, you know, the whole thing where they're like, oh yeah, if you're getting a vasectomy, get it freezed or stuff like that. Apparently, that just doesn't work.
Yeah, well, apparently, this is what one of the nurses was saying, was like there was a place where she would go and get a specimen from like a donor and like put it in her bra to bring the specimen from the donor to the insemination.
And all?
It'd be so gross, yeah. Like it's so like you think about it from a biological, like reproductive point of view. You're like, I get the science behind it, but the actual delivery of it is gross. It's someone just having a wank, like. Yeah. And then you're taking let's like go and having a wank, taking the tissue and going, get that here, and running, just smearing it on someone. Ugh, it's disgusting, like.
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
You know, and then for him to do that, it was so eerie and like grim. And then he was like a fucking machine. Like apparently, like people came in and were like, yeah, and he's like, yeah, I did, and it was like totally soulless, lifeless. When this girl came in to ask about who was his daughter, to ask about who's the donor, I'd like to try and meet my birth dad, and he was like, we can't do that, it's all private. So, and she was like, there was no emotion, no nothing from him, just a fucking psycho. Fuck, mental. Like, it's mental that people like that exist. Like Toby Morton, mental. But it was just fucking, it was wild, like. And how do we go from talking about Ed Sheeran to
sperm
spunk donations?
But yeah, basically I like his music.
Yeah, see, this is where I struggle with Ed Sheeran, because I don't like his music, but I really like him as a guy. Like, I think he looks like a really sound guy. Like, he's the sort of guy, like, I'm pleased to see him doing well. You know, you look at him, you go...
Have you ever seen the audition tape he did for the musical show?
No.
Just, you need to play any audio, okay? Just let me have
Was this when he was a kid?
Yep, he's like...
Here, where is it?
Don't worry, YouTube. So, basically, he auditioned for this musical show. It was called Britannia High.
Oh, yes.
And it was... Have you seen this clip?
No, but I know what Britannia High is.
Right, wait do you see. So he had to do a dance audition, and he wasn't a dancer, he was a singer. But because he's a kid, he's just like, no way you go along the auditions, because like we would do shit, just like, cause when you were younger, you were like, dance audition.
Oh no.
Wait do you see his dancing?
I can imagine it being awkward, is it?
Yeah.
16 years.
Is this muted?
Yeah.
Because we don't need audio.
Yeah.
16-year-old Ed Sheeran auditions for Britannia High.
Oh no.
Ben, if you want to put the clip in, like it's just a wee short one, I'll sort you out.
Oh, Ben.
Hold on.
This will be
Skip
super.
ads. So,
Oh no, not her.
Let's see. Yeah, she was involved. So where is he? Here he
no.
is. So he does that's his vocal audition, and he's all like singing.
Yeah,
That's
and
all
is he
good. They're
doing
like,
well?
oh
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah. They're like, yeah, this guy has potential. Let's see him dance.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Oh, where's the dance part?
Oh no. Ed Sheeran.
Hold on. This is maybe just the singing one, is it? Oh no, there it was. Right. Hold on.
Oh, here we are. Oh no. Oh no.
Is that all it was? No,
Oh, no.
He's still good.
Oh wow. Ed, what are you doing?
So yeah, that was
And
him.
do you think it worked out for him?
But this is the thing,
What's
right?
weird? It looks like Robin Elliott. Is he? Is he hosting the show?
He might have been. He was doing well back then.
Yeah, he still is. Like he's here.
Debatable. But he so like he auditioned for that, and they told him, nah, he's never gonna make it type thing.
I
That
know.
was in 2007.
Fair play to him, like, because a few
Nah.
years later, I mean, he's doing all right for himself,
he's
isn't he?
the biggest musician in
But like
the world, isn't
when
he?
I watch that, I'm watching it going, oh no, I'm embarrassed.
Because
for him,
you know how it feels.
But I think like again, I look at him like he could be my mate. You know, and I like
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
and I feel sorry for him, but don't like his music. You know, and that's the thing. And I think that's
it's weird that you don't like his music. His songs are like.
But some of them are good. But then some of them are shite. Like some of them are so shite.
Well, don't listen to
Like,
the shite ones.
like,
Then.
but some of them, like, see, as a singer songwriter, he's great. You know, he
Yeah.
has a lot of like. I like his guitar stuff. But then when he starts doing that blink, 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 I'm like, fuck off.
You don't
that.
like the loop pedal?
No, I don't like that shite.
Right.
And I don't like when he raps either. I think that's stupid as well.
Okay.
I'm like, stop doing that. So you have a nice singing voice. Sing about living in a fucking in a paper house or whatever you do.
There you go.
You know, that's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear, and don't rip off Marvin Gaye either. With, you know,
He did get a lot of.
yeah, but it's a exact same song
Oh yeah.
with different lyrics. It's like I don't. But then this is where my struggle is. I can't. I if someone goes, do you like Ed Sheeran? I'd be like, I do. What's your favorite song? Oh, I don't like his music. And you're like, well, how can you like
It's a
Ed
weird
Sheeran?
chat to have with people.
Yeah, but then I'm like, oh, I just like him as a guy. Whereas there's some people who, like, I don't think you can separate the person from the job. Whereas Ed Sheeran's a guy that I can. Whereas like you look at Vladimir Putin, you know, we don't know what he's like outside of work.
That's true.
You know, you see Vladimir Putin and you're like, oh, he's an arsehole, but you don't know him as a guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Could be real sound like.
So what I'm saying is like, Ed Sheeran, his music's not my cup of tea, but would I go for a beer with him? Yes. Putin, I'd be wary about going for a beer with Putin. But then, have I seen, for talk's sake, Putin, you know, with the tie loose, with the top button undone, on a night out, I don't know, in the Kremlin, on a payday Thursday night out.
That's where he would be.
You know, he would be there with his team, and like, is Putin getting the drinks in? Is he like Jaeger bombs for the boys?
Yeah.
Like, you don't know that. Putin could be a party boy, you know, and you could be like, you know, all stressed out, be like, oh no, if I step out of line, he's going to kill me. And then he turns out to be a banter guy, and you're like, oh, Putin's really. And then you're buzzing about getting back to the Kremlin to work the next day. You're like, oh, fuck, did you see Vladimir last night? He was. And then you get in, and you're like, oh, Putsy, and he's like, no.
He's back to normal.
He's like, no, my top, and that's what his nickname is. His nickname's Poots. So if you hear me talking about Poots, it's not Edwin Poots, it's Vladimir Putin. But Poots is just there in the Kremlin. Like, so Poots is in the Kremlin. Isolate this clip. Poots is in the Kremlin. He's got his tie, you know, his tie's on, his top button's done, and then he's like, we don't talk about last night.
Yeah.
We don't talk about what happened what goes on outside of the Kremlin stays outside of the Kremlin. What goes on, and then he's like, right, we had our fun, we had our Jaeger bombs, we did our chalk poppers, we had our poppers, we had our party shots. Let's fuck Kiev up today. Let's get back to business, boys. Let's get in there. Let's kill innocent people for the crack. But in a month's time, on the 28th, the next month, back in the Kremlin.
Yeah. We get back on.
So that's it. Like, how many people are, you know, maybe sound personally, but wankers in their job?
Right.
You know, that's what I want to say.
Yeah.
You know, so then there's people like comedians. People are probably like, oh, they're going to be mad crack and the most boring bastards you'll meet in your life.
Yeah, we can be.
Outside of
sure.
work, you're like, oh no.
Yeah. People sort of expect you to always be joking around and dicking about, but really, I just want to rest my head.
Mate,
and
I
sleep.
just want my own show on BBC and I.
Oh yeah.
That's all I want.
Oh yeah.
That's all I fucking want, man.
Waiting for.
That's my sole dream in life.
Well,
Speaking of soul dreams in life, in fact, it's not my sole dream in life. My sole dream in life is to get a tattoo of your face and gone but not forgotten on my back for 50 mil. Right, on some listeners' questions before we
Yes,
go? 'Cause
let's do it.
We've been chatting for near an hour and a half. So everybody who listens to my podcast and goes, "This is the next week 45-minute podcast," sauce.
Not today.
Not today.
Sorry,
not
Ben.
when the otter and the bear are at it. So let's see. Nobody on Twitter wanted to ask any questions today. So
Good stuff.
So we go.
Glad
Good.
that I'm loved.
Yeah, good. Fair play. Here's another weird thing. Speaking of loved, why is my finger good? Looks like shit on it. I woke up this morning and what I think actually happened. I shaved and I think I went into the bed.
Right.
Or into the drawer to get a razor out. I think I touched the fake tan mitt and it's got fake tan on this one finger.
I had to get a spray tan last week and I've still got orange all over my hands.
Let me just stop you. When you say
I had to get a spray tan
you
last week.
had to get a spray tan.
You have to be for stage.
No, did you have to or did you choose to? No,
they told
I
me
had to get.
They instructed me to get a spray tan.
You should have gone to the beds, mate. Right, first question is from Jared McFadden. He said, now that the West Side Story is done and dusted, what musical would Aaron like to next star in?
If I had a choice...
Your dream, any musical.
If I had a choice, but they won't be able to do it because the licensing isn't out for the production, probably not for a few more years yet, would be, I would do Jersey Boys.
Oh, so you say the Spunk Doctor, the musical? Spunk Doctor musical you'd like to be?
They use all Ed Sheeran songs to shape it.
This summer, Ed Sheeran.
Spunking out loud.
Yeah.
Let
me into your loving arse.
Yeah. So,
Ed Sheeran. I mean... why am I saying that? We'll do it with Daniel Day-Lewis, Andrew Lloyd Webber,
Richard Gere,
Ed Sheeran and Richard Gere in The Spunk Doctor. Like, what a fucking show that would be.
So yeah, if I had a choice, I would do Jersey Boys. One musical that I never done that I'm raging I'll never get the chance to do because I'm too old now is Spring Awakening.
What's that about? I've never heard of that.
It's about
the uprising in the Middle East, the Arab Spring.
It's about these kids in school in the early 1900s, discovering themselves sexually.
And again, it's the prelude to Spunk Doctor.
Yeah. It's a whole big thing, and they all die and stuff.
Sounds class.
Yeah, it's another sad one to be fair. But yeah, there's loads of stuff I always wanted to do, but then you realise that doesn't always happen.
Life doesn't go that way.
That's why you're thankful for the stuff that does happen.
Would you be in the West End Girls, which is the Pet Shop Boys musical?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sometimes you're better off dead. Which is how every musical you ever star in ends.
Yeah,
just
apparently.
murder. What do you like? I like songs and I like mass murder and death.
Yeah.
Patrick has said, do you miss the 9 to 5 at all? It's to both of us. Have you got to the point where you wouldn't/couldn't do comedy plus something like that ever again? For me personally, I don't think I go back to my normal job now because I've said too many things in this podcast over the course of the 6 months. I think I'm actually 5 months now.
Are you over
full time? Yeah, and you know what? I do find it hard to imagine working full time and doing the level of stuff I do because I feel busy. I still feel busy.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I would like more money, but
of course.
that'll come hopefully with tickets and scripts and whatever else. But I'm enjoying it. I think it's been a good decision and more motivated than ever. So yeah, I feel good. And what about you? You've been freelance for how long now?
For 8 years. Ugh, that's.
But I mean, listen to me.
Scary.
You've got your gaff.
I've got my gaff.
You've got your health.
Got my health.
You've got your boards have been treaded.
Yeah.
The future's bright for you, my friend. And let me ask a question, because again, I think having acted and have a few projects coming up, the idea of acting's always easier and more exciting than the actual acting, because acting can be hard going. Like, it's long days. You can't be bored. It's a lot to think about. It's draining
too, yeah. People don't realise, like, when I was doing that fucking show, like, I was coming home busted, like, just in, like, you're doing
skeptic. But were you
by the way, I have to give a shout out. There's this one kid that was in the show who his name's Lewis Atchison. I was talking to you about this kid.
I mean, tell you what, Lewis, if you're listening,
oh man,
if I had to give out a man of the match award, you're my favourite performance. Dance moves, sass, on point, my friend.
He's not meant to be sassy,
but he was like, he was like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mess with him.
He's fucking hilarious. most naturally funny person I've ever met in my entire life, and that's hanging around dude, you need to meet this kid, like, I swear to God. He at the after party, he would just keep looking at me and going, "I'm going back to your house," and then he would be
do what, like some musical numbers, or?
Just because he's like, "I fancy you."
I like
but
that. Let's get him in.
He would
Let's
say
get him
jokingly. He would say jokingly, but then he would say it a few more times, and I'd be like, "I'm worried.
Yeah,
I'm worried that I might have to."
Well, just do it. Like, fuck
No,
it. Yeah,
no.
go ahead.
But yeah, it's
all
funny.
good. Yeah, Lewis, you're welcome to the podcast anytime.
Oh yeah.
Naomi has said, "You ever wish you never Googled something?" and then has sent a link to something here.
Well, yeah, any of those deaf videos that we were talking about earlier.
Well, there you go. End of the question. Have you ever looked at a penis, either your own or someone else's, appropriate for the last story you just told, and wondered why it's shaped like that? The tube is pretty obvious, but then Naomi, send me something that's like a sentence long. You send me these friggin' essays. It's hard sometimes, but I'm not going to read that. It's evolution. That's why a penis is shaped like a mushroom. There you go.
Oh, right. I thought they were talking about, have you ever looked at a penis, anyone's penis, and been like...
Because apparently, now, I don't know the truth in this, but I heard a rumour why the bell end's a bell end is because back in the olden days, women used to just get spunked out by all the fucking cavemen and all. They just used to spunk it in. They used to be bucking all around. So whenever you would go in and spunk in next, the bell end would scoop out the other man's spunk. So you'd be going in, and it's like a fight to put the spunk in, like, so you can have the baby.
Louise.
So say there's a cave woman and she's getting spunked out by like 4 or 5 cavemen.
Say spunked out
if
again.
you come in and you're the 4th caveman, if you've got the wider bell, like if the wider your bell end,
The wider the bell end,
it's
the
a big
more
spunk
likely.
scraper. So like you need to
The
just
spunk
you
scraper.
need to spunk scrape as much as you can. So that's what I'm saying is, if you ideally your dick,
That's the name of a cocktail we have at the
the
manhole.
spunk scraper. So ideally, and it's just all it is just mind sweeping all the other cocktails, and just there you go. It's the fucking spunk scraper getting there. And the thing with that is you want to have like a bell end. It's like, you know, the dinosaur in Jurassic Park that goes, so you can scrape the most spunk. And then ideally your spunk has the chance of impregnating the cave woman.
Right,
Yeah.
I get you. No,
So spunk scraping the spunk outers, yeah.
I
that's
thought
why.
they meant like, no, whenever you watch Naked Attraction and you see other boys' dicks
Yeah.
and you go, "What? That looks terrible."
Yeah.
Like sometimes I watch that show and go,
Yeah, why have you done that?
or not. It's more just like it seems like a lot of dicks have like a real bend in them or something.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty straight down.
Yeah.
Mine's is like
You're like
line.
a Fu Manchu moustache, just straight.
Yeah.
I like that. Mine's just like a bell end, like it's just a scraper. There's no tube in there. It's just ultimately, if you're on Naked Attraction, you want to see a guy his dick looks like an upturned umbrella, because that's the best scraping technique to just get all the other caveman spunk out of there.
Oh, but
You
yeah,
know?
no,
That's the reason for it. Science is my strong suit. So if you wanna know-
you learn something coming here.
Yeah.
And I'll leave with that knowledge.
There
today.
you go. So I don't think I've ever said the phrase spunk scraping as much as I just did, but we'll go with it. I don't actually think I've ever said spunk scraper in my life before, or spunked
You
out.
haven't,
I don't
aye.
think I've ever said spunked out
You
before
said spunked
either.
out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the episode. There's so many titles potentially for this
Oh
episode.
yeah. We could go on and on.
Michael Kerr has said, "Hey, Daddy Bear, can you please ask the Butler himself to show us nerds his various collectibles?"
I didn't bring them with me, but I mean, look, one day maybe we can do a
What
show
are your
and tell.
collectibles?
I have a lot of
Pokemon?
Pokemon card collectibles. I have some Power Ranger stuff.
Here,
Mhm.
how much money would you offer for a limited edition Charizard card?
Like which one? So there's loads of them, but like, are you
The
talking
main
about
one.
like? So the main card.
For Logan Paul's.
So Logan Paul's Charizard is like over $1 million. That's how much it's worth.
Yeah.
So I would just have to give whatever I had to get it.
Yeah, and would you like, if he went to you, mate, seriously, like
I'd get the UDA tattooed on my face for
But
it.
say he met you, right? And he was like, "Listen, I don't know what it is about you here, but you know, if I were to be spunking out with anyone, it would be you. Like, we have a bond here. I just feel like you're my guy. Do you want to join like, say Logan Paul came over, was like, do you want to join the Paul team?"
Yeah.
So you just go out. You have to move to America, but you're part of the Paul team. And he's like, "Listen, I'm not going to pay a set wage. You'll get some stuff as you go along, but you can have my Char. That's how much I love you. You can have my Charizard card."
I'd do.
Would you move to LA and live in they live in Cuba or something, don't they, the Pauls?
The Puerto
Off in
Rico, I believe.
Puerto Rico, yeah. Why do they live in Puerto Rico?
Because there's no taxes in Puerto Rico.
So what do they do? Those boys just live there and then
They
spunk
just have
people out.
they just have an address there, and then they
Yeah.
go there they live there for about a month, and
Yeah.
then they fucking get their visa and just stay in America then, because
Yeah.
tax free. The in Puerto Rico, that's why they don't live in LA anymore. Here's the thing, you would do it because of the hype you could get off it, because even if you stopped working with them, you could
Yeah.
still have it on your CV.
Would you still do stand up though when you're in America, or would you just hang about with them? What if he's like, I'll give you my Charizard if you don't do stand up for 2 years?
Fuck.
Would you take his Charizard? It sounds, for anyone that's not a nerd, this sounds like a weird euphemism. Would you take his Charizard for a couple of years, bro?
For 2 years, yeah, I'd do it. Because then I would just write as much as I could in that 2 years, and then I'll perform it at the end of the 2 years.
But then what's he like? Here, mate, I actually want my Charizard back.
I have to give it back.
Yeah. Would you not? Or he gave it to you, or would you go to court and all over it and be like, he gave me his Charizard?
Well, here's the thing, the only reason I would be taking the Charizard is so I could sell it, because it's worth...
And would you sell it? Would you reckon would 4 million be a decent price for the Charizard?
I think it's worth $1 million.
But if someone offered 4, you take it then?
Yes.
Clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, that's interesting. Cheers for the nerd question, Michael. Appreciate it. And last question is from Amy. And Amy has asked, I mean, it's quite interesting because the guy who's at a different part of the world to me, where would you recommend for walks? I mean, I am going to say you'll often see me kicking around the Gold Coast, North Down, around Ballyhome, around the Seacliff. And that's where I like to walk. You know, there's lots of spots around there. I like to go, you know, round the peninsula. I like to go to lots of National Trust spots around there and beaches. You find me at?
I think that's one of the strengths Northern Ireland has, is that there is so many nice walking spots, and they're all closely enough together as well. You don't have to drive too far to get to somewhere that you maybe have never been before. Like, it's just a nice trail or whatever. So yeah, I do like...
And where do you like to walk? We want some proper spaces.
See, because I have a park right next to where I live, so I would
Mount
just...
Stewart's where I go.
Yeah,
as well.
There's a few there's one, Colin Glen Forest Park is out where I live, so I would go
Which
there.
is actually joint owned by Colin Gaddis and Psychic Glen. Believe it or not.
I would love it if it was. The Glens in the Forest Park giving readings behind the bushes.
For a Charizard or two.
Yeah. We need to have Glenn back on soon, by the way.
No, you know what? We'll maybe see if we can get him in this week or next week
For a summer episode.
Yeah.
We'll get his like tips for what
well, you know what? I'm working on something with him at the minute. I'm trying to make happen here. So I don't know whether or not
I think I need him in my life at the minute.
Yeah, you know what?
To like rejig my chakras or something.
You know, maybe that's what we do.
Something's a bit
You know
off at the
what?
minute.
Once we come off, I'm actually reaching out to a few guests for the Patreon podcast today. So, Glenn, we'll get Glenn on for Glenn Part 2.
Glenn Part 2.
And we'll get you in for it. And I think actually, maybe what we'll do is we'll get a camera on you.
Yeah.
And we will... maybe Glenn and I'll just counsel you. Maybe it'll be a one-off special. It'll be
That could
counseled
be
by
good.
Davey and Glenn.
Yeah, that could
Yeah,
be
well,
good.
maybe we'll figure that out.
We'll get Glenn to go in my relationship life.
Yeah,
though.
we don't want you to be. I don't want you to be sitting in the producer chair. We'll maybe set up. We'll maybe get you here.
Yeah.
You know what? I had Sean Haggerty and Tyrone McKenna on
Oh yeah.
as guests, and I sat them two there, and
Worked out.
So I might get me and Glenn here, and you can just.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll get you in. We'll go for the Butler counselling with Glenn and Dave.
That'd be fun. You've a live stand-up night happening in the Strand, don't
Yes,
you?
we do. Yeah,
That'll be fun.
we are. Well, it's something to try out because we did the podcast there,
Which was good
on
fun.
the whatever month it was. I actually would have asked you to do it, but then I didn't know what time and how long you were doing your show for.
Oh no! Don't be worrying.
If this goes well, we'll get it back again.
Yeah.
So with all, it's on this Friday, and I'm looking forward to it. So I think the Strand is a great space.
It is.
And I would like to do more. I'm doing a live podcast there that I'm not able to announce. But I mean, if for talk's sake, I was doing a live podcast, I would ask the Bartlett boys, Kieran and Mickey, to do it as my guests, and it might, for talk's sake, be on the 24th of June, and maybe announced after this show. So.
I have a gig that night. I was going to say I might do stand-up at if you let me, but I have a
Where
gig
is the
that
gig?
night. It's something for Johnny Bow. I don't know what it is.
Oh yes, he asked me to do that, but I'm doing this, so I can't.
Yeah.
You maybe double gig it. No, it's at a golf club. His gig in that.
I've no idea. I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
If I
nice.
can, I will, but if I
Yeah.
can't, I won't.
That's a great answer. I mean, what a podcast this has been. Oh, and you basically got an extra hour worth of chat. And
That's it.
You know what? Maybe
people
this is
want
something. Maybe this is something we look at going forward. If people like it, maybe we do a wee Sly Guy podcast, the Otter and the Bear special. If you maybe make it a monthly thing, I
Maybe
don't
do a
know.
once a month one.
Yeah.
I'd like that. Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm up for it. So if you want to do that, yeah, by all means, you can hop on, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments.
If the guys want it, I
you
want
know,
it.
and yeah, keep a wee eye on Patreon for the Glenn, Butler, Davey, counselling
Exciting.
session. Be a lot of fun. Right, guys. See you next week. Take care.
Night.
I'm the sly guy.